Oakland, LA, Oakland, Vegas, Raider Nation, wherever, forever. You got your old Uncle Mosh and Raiders Fan Radio from Murf's Fan Cave, taking a lighter journey into the dark side. Sit back, put your feet up, pop a top, and enjoy the ride. Here we go!
A leaking pass, touchdown!
We miss you, we love you, and we'll see you in the Hall of Fame.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
Way up the middle, intercepted Filipiano at the 50, time running down. Oakland football, and I think Oakland victory.
The Oakland Raiders have scored on the most zany, unbelievable, absolutely impossible dream of a play. Well, I love this team. I think this team can win. I think this team can win.
What is up, Raider Nation? Your old buddy Murf back once again for what we hope to be a fantastic episode of Raiders Fan Radio, episode number 134 here in Murf's Fan Cave of Raiders Fan Radio. And our national nightmare is over. Josh Jacobs is signed. We have now signed the entire Raiders draft class. So I guess that pretty much makes the show. So we can just go home now, right?
Thank you very much. For Murf, this is Uncle Mosh.
And speaking of Uncle Mosh, let's now go over to the Western Annex of the Murf's Fan Cave desk and talk to the one and only Uncle Mosh.
Hey, what's up, Raider Nation? It's so good to be back. Whoa.
Oh, you got an echo going on because you're, hold on. Okay.
Where do you got the speakers on?
Yeah, you talk, and I'm gonna go over there and fix that.
Okay, so it's good to be back. I've been busy. I've been doing all kinds of stuff. What did I do? I had a little casino sports. Let's see. Last time I went fishing. I've been fishing again. Man, I had a heck of a honey-do list. I got a new dog.
You got a new dog.
I got a puppy.
And he's a wee dog.
He's a wee. I've never had a little dog like this one before.
Like that.
It looks like one of my former students said, "Hey, that ain't a dog. That's a loofah sponge," and they might be right.
And what'd you name the little dog?
Fritzy.
Fritzy.
Yeah.
I like Fritz.
Yeah, Fritzy.
Fritz.
Yeah, Fritz. I had to give it a little bit of a masculine name because it's not a very masculine dog.
No, and there's that one comedian that talks about I forget what they talk about naming the dog, but he talks about it's a little teeny dog. It's not a very masculine dog, and then they give it like a really weak name, and he's like, I'm not naming the dog that because I'm the one that's going to be out on the porch.
Right.
Here, schmoopy, or whatever.
Yeah, well, it's so I'm excited. I'm excited about the new dog. Yeah, it keeps me up at night, but it's summertime, so I got nothing to do. Yeah, it naps, I nap.
You got nothing to do but fish and do Raiders Fan Radio.
Fish and do Raiders Radio. There it is.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for coming back.
Hey, it's good to be back.
Hey, the Fannies was fun, man. So last time we saw you, we did the Fannies.
Right.
And that was an absolute blast, as we always have a good time with the Fanny Awards. And yeah, so that was good. We had a lot of good response on that, and you guys definitely enjoyed it. And so appreciate all of you and your feedback on that show, and appreciate your support of what we do here in the Fan Cave.
Well, it's good to be back. Lots and lots of stuff is happening. And it's kind of funny though. Last time we got together, we got interrupted by weather. We're supposed to have another one coming in tonight.
Do we really?
Yeah,
okay,
a little bit. It's not supposed to be near as bad as it was.
It's not
2
tornadic?
weeks ago. No. Well, it might be a little tornadic if we suck, but.
So if all of a sudden we just disappear, that's why, because we've gotten a little bit of a lightning activity here in the Fan Cave. So appreciate you joining us here on episode number 134. So those of you that are joining us in the chat room, as always, such a great place to be. Murf's, I always mess that up. YouTube.com/Murf's Fan Cave. And whenever we go live, you can join us there on YouTube, and you can join in the chat. And the chat is awesome, Mosh. It's one of our favorite parts of the show.
It is.
The chat is funnier than we are. They know more than football about we do. They hold us accountable. They're great. And so just to shout them out there a little bit, Eusebio Gonzalez is in there, Shawshank, Edgar Velasquez, Adam Hill, Sean Grogan, Todd Clements, Aaron the Q-Dog Raider. What's up, Capo? Robert Kavanaugh, Mojo Raider, Chris Potts, Carl Rogers, Zeke, Ron Stratton, the Materator. He's the man that he's the sheriff in there, right? He's the guy that kind of holds it down for us. Atticus B. Rockin'. Holy cow, Mosh, we got a busy chat room tonight. Little Tiger is in there. Thank you all so very, very much for joining us live. And again, if you haven't done that yet, then definitely jump in there and check out the chat room, man. It's a lot of fun. And appreciate everybody that's
Edgar
in there
Velasquez, Asobio Gonzalez,
man.
Lots of guys.
Lots of good stuff. All right, so episode number 134. I think I said that already, but I'm going to say it again. We always refer our episode number back to a number.
Right.
And
because we like numbers. We hate math, but we love numbers.
Hate math, but love numbers. And so, we've got a kind of a third member or third man in the booth here lately.
We do.
On Raiders Fan Radio, and that is Swag Jeff. And a lot of you have seen Swag Jeff on one of the shows that we do, also on the network, Tales from the Nation. And so you've seen Swag Jeff or heard from Swag Jeff. He's been on Raiders Fan Radio with me when you've been out. He sat in. So I'm talking to Swag Jeff, and I'm telling him about episode number 134, and he goes, I got it, man. He goes, I got the number. He goes, I want to be the numbers guy from now on the episode number that we relate always to an event within the Raiders. Jeff wants to be the guy.
And and I can't think of a better guy to do it because Jeff's a smart kid, and Jeff knows numbers. Back in high school, Jeff did math,
and he's a good math guy.
Yeah, he's a good math guy.
Yeah.
So hey. Why not?
So he wants to be the numbers guy. So all right. So that's it. So you've taken the role. So now from now on, this will be the Swag Jeff reported number that refers.
And
back
that
to
way, if he screws it up,
I just blame him.
We'll just take one of his shirts.
How about Swag Jeff lobbying Raider Nation now to send him stuff properly?
Tell the story.
Living up. All right. So I'm wearing it. Well, we're gonna get to this. Let me get to that in a minute.
You will get to that in a minute.
Okay, so episode number 134. So Swag Jeff sends this in. Billy Cannon, who played for the Raiders from 1969. No, played for the Raiders from 1964 to 1969. Had 134 career receptions. Mosh, do you remember Billy Cannon? I don't either. This is long before this.
I remember the name, of course.
Yeah. How old were you in 64?
6 years old.
Yeah, so this is before your time.
Yeah.
So Billy Cannon, again, I kind of was familiar with the name, but not familiar with him as like his on the field efforts. But apparently, anyways, tight end for the Raiders during that time. But here's a tight end that we definitely remember: Raymond Chester played for the Raiders from 1970 to 1981.
Wait, tell him why Billy Cannon. You didn't say why Billy Cannon.
Please.
He had 134 career receptions.
Yeah, I said. Did I not say that? Oh, well.
So this is episode 134. Well, see, this is what happens when Jeff does this, and you don't get briefed.
I need to slow down. I'm going too fast already tonight, Mosh. I'm wound up. I had coffee. I got my little my Raider. This is it.
You're ready to get me. I might have to put a little Bailey's in there to wind you down a little bit.
I know, right? All right, so let me take a breath. All right, so Billy Cannon, but aside from Billy Cannon, Raymond Chester, tight end for the Raiders, who we're all familiar with from 1970 to 1981, 37 touchdowns, 216 receptions. But here's where Swag Jeff did a great job. Average length of catch as a Raider, 13.4. So 134.
Wow.
So pretty good stuff.
Good job, Swaggo.
Good job, Swag. Good job. So Swag, if you don't know, he's also our social media director now here on Raiders Fan Radio, and he's earning quite a living doing it. I got to admit, earning a living in T-shirts, I guess. Because they're certainly not paying him any money.
No.
Okay. Also, one more thing, and I already forgot because I'm going too fast. Behind Uncle Mosh there, to up and to the right, not back and to the left, but up and to the right. Oh, which reminds me, Mikey and I were talking about JFK stuff the other day.
Oh, jeez.
Did you hear about the Mandela effect? Do you hear about this thing?
Yes, the Mandela effect.
Yeah, okay.
You said Mandela. Mandela. We're in Tennessee. That's like I
need to ask you about that too later. I forgot to ask you. All right. Anyway, so up there and back and to the right of Uncle Mosh is the Get Made T-shirt. You can find that shirt at RaidersFanRadio.com/t-shirts. Please go buy one of those shirts, and here's why.
Why?
All of the proceeds, 100% of the money that we generate by selling t-shirts on Raiders Fan Radio goes into a hopper, and we're taking all of that money and we're giving it to the Bolitnikoff Foundation. The Bolitnikoff Foundation, for those of you that don't know, was started in honor of Tracy Bolitnikoff, who passed away prematurely. And in her memory, Angela Bolitnikoff and Fred started the Bolitnikoff Foundation, and it goes to help women or young ladies that are dealing with substance abuse issues, that are dealing with domestic abuse issues. It gives them a safe place. The place is called Tracy's Place of Hope, and all of our money is going to fund the new Tracy's Place of Hope. That's what we're giving all of this money away to do. Tracy's Place of Hope offers rehabilitative services, so it's not just a safe place for them. It helps them get clean. It helps them get kind of reacclimated to sober life. It's a wonderful, wonderful foundation. Everything that we sell, and we didn't necessarily design this shirt with this intent. This was just going to be our 2019 Raiders Fan Radio shirt, but Mosh and I talked about it, and we just decided that, you know what? We just want to give it away, man. We want to support this foundation. And so that's what we're doing with it. So every dollar that we generate by selling those shirts goes to fund Tracy's Place of Hope. Is going to go to the Bolitnikoff Foundation. So go buy a shirt. They're cool shirts. They're made here locally. Uncle Mosh has a guy. He's got a guy.
I got a guy.
He's got a guy. He's got a good t-shirt guy. The guy makes them here. They're good quality, heavy duty cotton t-shirts. It's not like that light print that you get of like Vista.
No, they last.
They're like for real shirts, man. And they're $20. It's $25 for the big sizes. We got big boy sizes. We know there's some big boys out there that listen to this show, so we got big boy sizes. We got 4X, we got 3X, we got 2X. Order those shirts, support the Bolitnikoff Foundation, and then, of course, in turn, you support us. But here's what we're going to do. So not only are we going to donate that money to them, we're going to give them one of those big old lottery-looking checks.
Yep.
We're going to present it to them live at the 2019 Crab Fest, which is down in Dublin this year in California. We're going to present that to them on the Friday. Uncle Mosh and I are going to hang out in our hometown of San Jose on Saturday, and then we're going to the Raider game on Sunday.
Yep.
We're going to go watch the Raiders take on the Detroit Lions, and that's November 3rd. So couple things there. If you're going to the game November 3rd, definitely hit us up. But most importantly, buy one of those shirts. Help us support Tracy's Place of Hope and the Bolitnikoff Foundation. And yeah.
And we're excited about that.
We are.
Anytime we can give back, it's a good thing.
Absolutely.
You know, and I can't think of a better way to do it than to give back to one of our own group. There's a ton of them out there. Man, there's so many to choose from, and that's this year's target.
Absolutely.
So we're excited.
Yeah, absolutely. Good stuff. So we're at like $600.
Nice.
Like $600. Yeah. So
Nice.
our goal was 2,000, and we're gonna get there. And if we go over, we're gonna give it all away. We're not going to stop at that number. We're going to keep on going. I know that Aaron, Q Dog Raider, is probably going to be out there. And so, maybe, I don't know, we'll figure out something cool there, but we're all going to try to attend together. We're going to make it a big deal, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. And again, it's all for a wonderful, wonderful cause. All right.
Perfect.
Okay, Mosh, before we get to contact information,
Okay.
let's do a little respect. Want to do a little respect? We need to get respect.
We got to give some respect. Let's throw some respect out there.
I need to get you a respect button.
I got to have a respect button.
You got a lot of different buttons. We need to get a respect
I got
button.
all the buttons. I don't have contact button. There it is. I got it.
You got contact info? Okay.
Yeah,
all right. Well, before we get to that, though, let's do some respect.
Okay.
And I'll work on the respect thing. I did the new intro this week. I don't know if you guys caught that. If you like the new intro,
I love it. I love it.
Thank you, Mosh. So that was my big project for this week. But I'll work on getting your respect button as well. Okay, so we're going to give respect to two entities this week. First, we're going to give respect to Salt City Silver and Black. I'm wearing their new shirt for 2019. This is Salt
Love
City.
it.
Their
Love it.
their 5-year anniversary. Salt City Silver and Black. Let me scoot up a little bit there. So that's in Syracuse, New York, and they are an awesome booster club. Jay Morse is the guy up there. Been a longtime supporter of Raiders Fan Radio, and he sent us a gift pack.
Yeah, man, and he sent me a patch for the hat, for the Uncle Mosh Carhartt hat. I love that. It's going to go right there on right here on the hat. Yeah, as soon as I can remove those headphones. And we're fired up about it, man.
And he sent a nice message.
He did.
Along with it. You want to listen?
Sure.
Tell us about that?
He said, "Hey Murf, your package is in the mail." Famous last words.
Hey.
And should be there any day, maybe today. Rob Goffredo, the president, The Salt City Silver and Black board members and myself have decided that we would like to give you and 3 others the distinction of honorary lifetime members. Going forward, we will only add 1 new honorary member into this prestigious group every year. This is a thank you for helping us grow and spreading the word that there is a Raider Club in Syracuse, New York, trying to help the community while representing the Raider Nation with pride and poise. We really appreciate your podcast, your YouTube channel, and more recently, your commitment to one of our favorite charities, the Bolitnikoff Foundation for Tracy's Place of Hope. Keep doing what you do, and remember, if you ever find yourself in central New York for some reason, you have a home. Jay Morse. Wow, that is fantastic,
Isn't that cool?
man. And he did. He sent us so much cool stuff. You know,
little
we didn't even
bracelet.
show it. You know, a sticker for the back of the Moshmobile. You know,
nice.
Yeah, and I'm just glad I was on tonight because Swag Jeff would have never let me have any of this stuff.
Oh, he'd have been on that in fact, you know what? He was over here earlier today, and he was eyeballing it, and he goes, well, can I have some of this stuff? And I go, Jeff, we got to show it on the show. He's like, oh, yeah, huh. Like, come on, man. Like, he was trying to poach it right off your desk, man.
You know, he should have been worried more about briefing you on his numbers.
Yeah.
He should have been worried about my swag.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. He's out of control. But anyway, so thank you to Salt City Silver and Black. Thank you to Rob. Thank you to Jay. You guys rock.
You guys are the best.
Appreciate the support of Raiders Fan Radio as always. And, if you're in central New York and it's Raiders Sunday, definitely look those folks up.
And we appreciate what they do, too, because they give back to the community as well. I mean, they've even got it. They've got a –
yeah, show the flyer. This is cool, man.
They've got a pamphlet about what they do, and it shows pictures of them. It's got on the inside. It's got all about who they are, their mission statement, what they do. I mean, they are top notch. They are right on bunch of guys, man,
it's
and
legit,
girls,
man.
and they're all about it. You know, they're in their mission statement. They said they provide a family-friendly, Raider-focused environment for all ages. Man, they believe in giving back to the community and have raised thousands of dollars for both national and local charities through fundraisers, raffles, tailgates, all kinds of stuff, man. And I just love it, man. I love that.
Good stuff. And they're doing it right. And that's one of the things, Chuck McCann, our buddy that's the president of the New Jersey chapter of the Black Hole, he says it all the time, man. No one does it like we do. No one does. Right. And when I say we, that's him talking, because we're not affiliated other than honorary. And thank you to those of you that have reached out to us to be honorary members of your fan club, including the New Jersey chapter of the Black Hole. But those guys they're 365, man. They're marching in parades. Yep. They're doing highway cleanup and fundraisers and charity. Like it's not just getting together and drinking beer and eating chicken wings on Sunday like a lot of booster clubs from other teams are. These Raider clubs are 24/7, man. So absolutely, much respect to all of you holding it down for Raider Nation in that way. And thanks to Salt City Silver and Black. All right, one more, Mosh. I want to give props. I want to give respect to the Raiders, to the friggin' Las Vegas Raiders in particular. And there's a lot of. It seems like, and it's just, look, I don't want to get a whole thing, but there's negative press in terms of players.
Sure.
I don't think we do a good enough, when I say we, I'm not part of the media, we're not part of the media, but I think big time media doesn't do a good enough job of celebrating the efforts that players have in their communities and investing in their communities. And the Raiders proper are already investing in Las Vegas as a community. Most recently, they did a thing where they gave away service animals to veterans. They had these guys that came, Mosh, to the new stadium under the understanding they were going to tour the new Las Vegas stadium, and instead, well, not only did they give them a tour, but then they gave them service animals.
Murf, do you know how much a service animal costs?
No, I don't.
It's crazy. Like on the low end, $14,000.
Gosh.
On the high end, you're talking $35,000, depending on what they do.
Because these are like the full-on dogs. Like, this isn't like a
this isn't somebody's
those are like German shepherds or something.
This is stuff that folks that are suffering from PTSD, they're suffering from even diabetes. They can smell it. They can train these dogs. We have a student at school who has one.
Okay,
and she, because she's diabetic, and they had such a hard time getting it under control and everything that she has it. And when her sugar is either high or low, I'm not sure which kind of diabetes it is, it alerts.
Wow.
It's crazy. And so, I mean, we're talking thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for these dogs. So this is no just, hey, here's a shelter pup. This is legit stuff.
Wow. That's cool.
That's
I didn't know all that, Mosh.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know all that. That's awesome. Yeah, so the Raiders freaking are gave these dogs away to these guys, and apparently these guys were on waiting lists. Like, it wasn't even like they could just get it. Like, they were waiting for, like, there's a list that they can register. Anyway, so the Raiders did that. That's amazing, man. That's just great stuff. I love to hear stories like that. So kudos to them. And then also, and I got a little audio clip for you, Arden Key and Colton Miller did a fundraiser for some of the local school kids that needed, like,
school
backpacks
supplies,
and school supplies and all that kind of stuff. So they had a big bowling thing at one of the local bowling alleys, and here's what it sounded like.
Well, today, a pair of players went bowling for backpacks. Offensive tackle Colton Miller and defensive end Arden Key teamed up to host the LOL Kids Club 4th Annual Las Vegas All-Star Classic, a charity bowling event that provided 350-plus backpacks to the kids of Southern Nevada. Well, the team won't call Vegas home for another year. The players say it really doesn't matter because they're ready to make an impact now.
Trying to get a jump start here in Vegas. Meeting these people, I mean, they all seem so genuine and great. I'm really excited, totally, to be here.
I'm just out here having fun. We out here for the kids. Each charity event was for the kids, and we just made fun out of it. And I'm glad I'm here to enjoy with the kids and bowl with the kids.
All right, boys and girls, pay attention. You got your old Uncle Mosh here with an update. That's right. I got some stuff for you. Take out a piece of paper, a pencil, a pen. Heck, use your pocket knife and carve the info into your dashboard as you're driving down the highway. First off, you need to like us on our fan page on Facebook. That's right. Go to Facebook at Raiders Fan Radio Podcast. Don't forget about the Twitter. You know your old Uncle Mosh, he twits now. That's right. Go to at Raiders Fan Radio. Also, don't forget the Instagram at Raiders Fan Radio. Or what about our website? That's right, RaidersFanRadio.com. Heck, if you want to, you can even email us, show@RaidersFanRadio.com, or call us on the Raiders Fan Radio hotline, 909-345-3346. That's 909-345-3346. Don't forget Murf's Fan Cave on the YouTube, where you can get all the show links like the Fan Club Blitz with Splatterhead and Fitz. Find all our stuff on podcast providers like Stitcher, iTunes, and Google Play. All right, did I hit the time limit? Good.
All right, Raider Nation, so here we are in episode number 134. We got a lot to get to tonight, and most of it is you. We have just a couple of quick little stories and fun things I want to get to, and then we're going to get to your calls. It's as I like to call it, the offiest of the off season. Here we are in the early part of July. Training camp isn't going to be for another few weeks, and then we're going to get into Hard Knocks, and it's going to be a crazy, awesome time. Hold on. Mosh is laughing in the middle of me saying something, so I know something's going on in the chat. Let's go ahead and get over to go ahead.
I wasn't necessarily thinking about the chat.
Okay.
Can you imagine Arden Key bowling? Did the ball even touch the lane? He's like,
I know. You can just throw it overhand down there.
Let me just have that 16-pounder over there. And, I'm not worried about spin. I'm not worried about it. Is the lanes greased? Are they going to curve? No, he just wings it at the
just throws it overhand.
Overhand.
Yeah. Big old long arms. That's pretty good,
Oh,
Mosh.
my gosh.
That's good. All right.
Sorry.
So no, you're fine. So we got a couple to get to tonight, and then we will we're going to jump into the Sea of Fans. So because it's the offiest of the off season, and you all were honest this week in a great way, a lot of voicemails. So we're just going to go a couple quick stories and then go all voicemails from here out. So, and in fact, some of these under normal weeks, we wouldn't get a chance to get to all these voicemails, but I figured, what the heck, let's go ahead and go for it. And we're just going to play them all, man. And there's 20 some odd voicemails.
We're going to have fun with it.
We're going to have a good time with it. So before we get to that, though, I want to jump into a fun little thing that I saw this week. So speaking of Raiders fan clubs, Raider Nation of Rochester, speaking of upstate New York Raiders fan clubs. Is Rochester in upstate? Please tell me it is.
Yeah,
I did just sound like an
you're
idiot.
good.
Okay,
You're good.
all
You're
right.
good.
All right, so Raider Nation Rochester. Like,
I wish it wasn't.
I wish it wasn't. Yeah,
because I would have told you it was anyway.
because it's like Oswego and Albany and Syracuse, and they're all up there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Just making sure.
Okay.
All right. I've been to Manhattan, but I've never been anywhere else in New York.
Yeah, it's way. Just when Johnny says, yeah, no, you were right. It's way upstate.
Okay, good. Okay. All right. So, and he's a New Yorker, so there we go. So Raider Nation Rochester put out this really cool tweet. And what do you want to read the tweet? You got it there, I think. Read the tweet for us. Set this thing up proper.
Okay. So, are you talking about the final season of the Raiders?
Yes.
Okay,
Read that.
So, with 2019 being the final season for the Raiders in Oakland, we got to thinking, what is the greatest Oakland Alameda County Coliseum moment ever?
So
You want me to finish?
Oh.
We have chosen 8 worthy games. Rochester's down in anyway, 8 worthy games / moments at random from the House of Thrills 53-year history. Cast your round 1 votes for in the comments. Okay, and then it goes on.
And then it goes on. All right, so they put up this really cool picture, and I wish I could share it with you guys, but so those of you on the YouTube, you just have to trust me on this. So they got it like a bracket, like a March Madness bracket,
right.
and they got these 8 things. So I thought this would be fun. So I know what the championship match is.
Oh, you do?
I do, but they haven't had the final winner yet. But I want to get the Mosh version of this. So we're going to bracket this thing down based on your answers. Okay.
All right, here we go.
Okay, so the number 1 seed versus number 8 seed in the left-hand bracket. Heidi game versus Beast Mode Dance-Off.
Heidi game.
All right. Then the 2 and 3, I guess not 1 and 8, it'd be the 1 and 4. But anyway, you know what I'm saying. The 2 and 3 matchup would be the return to Oakland, so when the Raiders beat the Chargers in 1995.
Right.
Or the 2002 AFC Championship when we beat the Titans 41-24.
Championship.
All right, so you got on that side, you're going to have the Heidi game and the 2002 AFC Championship. Going over to the right bracket, we have the 1976 AFC Championship. Raiders beat the Steelers versus Tim Brown's 1,000th catch in 2002.
AFC Championship.
All right. And then the last one, the 2 to 3 matchup in the East bracket is Charles Woodson's farewell in 2015 versus 1974's Sea of Hands game.
Sea of Hands.
All right. So we got the 76 AFC Championship and the Sea of Hands in the East, and the Heidi game versus 2002 Championship in the West. All right. Heidi game versus 2002, Mosh. Who you got?
2002.
2002 AFC Championship is the winner of the West bracket. The East bracket, 1976 AFC Championship or the Sea of Hands game.
76 AFC Championship.
This is the exact same matchup that everybody voted for.
Really?
Good job, Mosh. Yeah, absolutely.
And you want me to tell you who I picked out of that?
I think I know, but yes.
76.
Of course you did.
Yeah, absolutely. Because
Absolutely.
that was my baptism under fire. It was
There you
my, it was.
That's like your favorite Raider game ever.
It's my favorite Raider game ever. Yeah, it really is.
Absolutely. That's a great job. So I'm curious. That's what I think. What did I vote for? I think I voted for 2002.
Did you really?
I might have voted for 2002 because that was because, in 76, like the Raiders were already good back then. You guys got to enjoy the Raiders being good for however many years up until then. In 2002, like we had those couple years of Gruden to lead up to it. So, but that was the culmination of greatness, and we had been bad for a long time before that. So I think I voted for 2002. But chat room, what do you guys got?
A lot of them are saying 76. A lot of them are saying Sea of Hands was something, and it's like, what do you pick? What's the best?
I know. It's kind of like picking your kids.
Yeah. I don't know. Because I mean,
no, I didn't mean picking my kids.
Because I'm pretty clear about it when it comes to people who I like and who I don't. And family especially.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I'll rank them in a New York minute. Speaking of Rochester.
Sonny, sorry about second place. I'll just say that.
He'll be all right. He's younger. He ain't been around as long.
There we go. Yeah. All right. So, okay. So good stuff. That's fun, man. That was a good one. And those guys, great idea. I told them I was going to shout them out and talk about that on the show because I thought that was a really fun idea to do. All right. So, Mosh, a lot of times at the end of our show, we do a segment called Raiders and Pop Culture, where you guys send us in different clips of TV shows or movies or commercials or songs or whatever, and we'll feature that. Mosh, you were on fire this week. You had a bunch of them because you love that show with Tim Allen.
Oh, yeah. Last Man Standing.
Last Man Standing.
Oh, my gosh. It's so funny. I sent you 6.
Yeah.
I got DirecTV. Okay, so it's in the summertime. I watch a lot of TV. I don't get to watch TV a lot during the school year. So my wife and I said, "Hey, let's do it. Let's do a Last Man Standing. What do you call that? Where you watch?
You binge watch.
Yeah. So we've been doing that over the last few days.
Okay.
And I typed into the direct thing, just to record all episodes, and so it recorded them in order. And there was so many that I would, every time they'd say something about the Raiders, I'd go, pause it. And she'd go, what? So I'd get the camera out and I'd go up to the TV and I'd go, hit the play. And then I would send them to you. And, of course, I live way out in the sticks, so I don't have good internet. So I got to drive out to the road. So I'd hop in the truck in my underwear, and I'm out the road and I'm sending these to you. And sometimes I got to get out of the truck. Right, so I'm standing there holding my phone up in the air so that the satellites or whatever they are, and the neighbor calls and says, because I didn't quite go out to the road, I was right inside the driveway, and the neighbor calls the wife and says, you might want to know that, but there's somebody parked in your road, and I'm not sure what he was wearing. It wasn't
somebody in their underwear holding his phone up.
Let me just say, it wasn't a lot, but yeah. But I had my phone above the air, and I had to go potty, so I'm not sure. I think that's when I saw. Yeah, so I had one hand up in the air, and the other was taking care of business, and
so you had me in one hand and you in the other.
Exactly. Yeah, but that's the only way I can get the internet to work. I used to have to hold the antennas, growing up as a kid, so I'm used to that kind of stuff.
Oh my gosh, you're making my glasses fog up. Oh, jeez, Mosh, so damn funny. All right, so
sorry,
Mosh,
I had to share that with the public.
That's right. So Mosh was on fire this week, sending out his Last Man Standing of Raiders and Pop Culture. So we do that segment normally at the end, but since we're doing all Sea of Fans, I just want to go Sea of Fans from here out. But I did want to reference something I thought was fun that I came across this week. So normally it's Raiders and Pop Culture. I'm going to spin it a little bit this time.
Okay.
This week it's going to be Raiders fan radio and pop culture.
What? Us?
Yeah. Well, it's not directly us, but it's directly in reference to something that happens on our show quite frequently.
It's relevant to us.
It's relevant to us. So when we go to start the show, what's the one of the handful of things you typically will yell at me when we start? Hit the button. And just when Johnny is so funny with that New York accent, hit the button. And so, it's just become a thing with us around here for me to hit the button, jiggle the wires, turn the knobs, get the show going, right? Got to hit the button. Well, the new season of Stranger Things came out. Now, you just mentioned you live in the sticks. You ain't got the internet. Uncle Mosh doesn't watch Netflix. I do, and I love Stranger Things, and it's great. I know most everybody loves that show. So this is going to be no spoilers, but there was a part of the show this week that one of the episodes that I'm watching this, and I'm dying laughing because all I can think about during this whole segment of this episode of Stranger Things is you yelling at me about pushing the button. Okay? So I recorded the audio, and here it is. You ready for this? You're going to love this, Mosh.
Which one do I press, Erica?
Just press the damn button, nerd.
Which one? I'm pressing the button, okay?
Press open door.
I'm pressing open door.
Press the other button. Guys, get out of the way so she can pushes the button.
Would you stop? Try. Would you let me just do it? Would you stop?
Just open the door.
Just press the button!
My groin. It fell on my groin.
If that's not the beginning of our show, typically, I don't know what.
Oh, my gosh.
That's right before we go to the YouTube. That's what Raiders Fan Radio sounds like. You screaming this at me.
Just press the damn button.
Yeah, I
nerd.
do.
Do you hear what she says at the end?
Yeah. Oh, no. Do it
No,
again.
yeah, listen.
Just press the damn button, nerd.
Press the damn button, nerd.
Oh, man, that cracked me up, man. I'm dying laughing watching that show, and it's not a funny scene. They're like falling in this elevator thing, and it's like this scary moment for the kids, but I'm laughing my face off, man.
Q-Dog says that you're supposed to stare at Yoda and go, the button you must press.
Hey, shout him out before we get on to the Sea of Fans. Shout out the chat room.
Oh, my gosh. Well, just when Johnny's there, Dakota Raider, Wyoming Raider. We got all the upper Midwest. Tampa Raider. Kevin Reitzel is there. Carl Rogers is there. Oh my gosh, tons of folks. And hit that like button, y'all. Hit the button, y'all.
Hit the button, man. Hit the
button.
button. That's right. Hit the button. All right, Uncle Mosh. So speaking of the button, why don't we let's hit the Sea of Fans button and get underway.
The Sea of Fans. It's a big show
big
tonight.
button.
It's a
big
big
show.
show.
Oh my gosh, we got 150 voicemails to get to.
Oops.
You got the button?
Sorry about that.
There you go.
There he is, baiting, looking. He's under the gun. He's tied, he's thrown. It
Hey, were you gonna tell that story about Swag Jeff?
Which one?
When we got
Well, we got distracted on something. What was it?
the shot with Jeff trying to.
Okay. So the Syracuse folks, as I mentioned, so they sent us the gift pack, and I took what I thought was a really cool picture of all the different fan club shirts that have been sent to us over the past couple years. So, and there's like 7 or 8 of them.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I thought it was kind of cool, and I just put in there that I'm going to wear the next one, or the newest one on the show, which is the one I'm wearing now. And so we got a lot of cool responses from there, and a handful of the different booster clubs that hadn't sent us stuff in the past. And this was not my attempt to like lobby free stuff.
No. We don't want free stuff.
No, I don't want it. I wasn't trying to get gear out of it. I just I thought it was a cool picture. And so, but a few of the others reached out and were like, hey, what's your address? We'll send you a shirt too. And I was like, oh, great. That'd be great. I'll be glad to wear it and support you. And
Heck
let you
yeah,
know
man.
Well, then here comes Jeff into the Facebook post in all capital letters going, I'm an extra large. My name's Swag Jeff. I'm like, what are you doing, new guy? Like, you can't just go out there and ask people for stuff. Like, what is he doing?
And if the truth were known, he's a medium.
But yeah, I'm like, man, you can't do that, Jeff. You can't be just like asking people for free gear, man. That's not how it works, man. That's not how we roll. But anyways, so thank you to those of you that did reach out, and we'll send you an RFR t-shirt.
And he wouldn't have the name Swag Jeff if he didn't do stuff like that.
No,
so we love him
for
that.
He's staying true to his name. There is no doubt.
Yeah.
He's tore up with the Raiders right now, and it's a wonderful thing.
It's great. It's so cool to watch.
It really is. And I'll just hit a quick tangent before we jump into to the emails there, Mosh. We've gotten some amazing responses back on our Tales from the Nation show. So here on Murf's Fan Cave, you got 4 shows right now. You got this one, the flagship show, Raiders Fan Radio. You got Mondays with Mikey and Murf, which is now kicked back in. You got the Fan Club Blitz with Splatterhead, Tom, and Fitz. And then we started Tales from the Nation, where we go back and we look at significant moments in Raider history.
Some of that stuff we voted on tonight.
Some of that, exactly, yeah. And Jeff has done a great job. He's a brand new Raider fan, like within like months. Like he's brand new to this stuff, but he's embraced the fandom. He's dug into the fandom, and it's fun show because it's learning things for him. But I'm learning things as well. You learn about the particulars, and we'll go into a story like the Heidi game, and he'll come away with a completely different take on some of the facts or some of the significant people in it than like what I would have just had a general idea of just over all these years. So there really is a neat dynamic there with that show. So definitely check it out. It's on your Murf's Fan Cave feed. Just search Murf's Fan Cave on your favorite podcast service. All right, Mosh, let's jump into it.
All right. So, of course, we heard from Paul, and we'll read Paul, and then we'll hear from the Capo. So it says, Evening, fellas. Hope all is well. Another week over, and we're a little closer to some Raiders football. It's been a little quiet this week. Lots of podcasts, Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin to keep me sane. Incidentally, can anybody remember what we used to do before podcasts arrived on the scene?
Yeah, I know, right?
Wow. A lot of this, Paul. Well, the podcasts were life-changing for me, and at least you guys had each other to bounce off wins or losses. Me, no one. For years, I tell you, I used to trudge around from February to August like a Niners fan looking for a brain cell. I only know of two other NFL fans, and one I found was a cowgirl and the other a Miami fish. I wasn't going to talk to them, so I had nobody, guys. This would sound really sad if you imagine the theme to Schindler's List as you read it. Anyway, wow, he went really dark really quick. Anyway, I don't have to worry anymore because I got you guys and the other wonderful Raider Nation podcasts. You can tell earlier in the week I hit a preseason wall, but then I saw the new Raiders 60th season logo, which is outstanding. Do you got to?
Yeah, I'll bring it up for you. Yeah.
The new stadium is looking really cool, and the training camp schedule has been confirmed. We're nearly there. It's not long now. Finally, huge congratulations to Haley, the first RFR, the first RFR made woman. Hopefully, she is the first of many. Love you, Raider Nation. Happy 4th of July to everyone. Regards, Paul Egerton from Shropshire, Mississippi. The Pauly Award winner for 2019. Proud made man. One-time winner of the Raiders Fan Sizzler Award. And, Paul, seriously? You didn't put on there the Sizzler statistician for RFR? Come on, buddy. We don't give you these titles if you're not going to put them on there.
I know, huh?
Yeah.
Sheesh. Okay, so Mosh's favorite number is 60.
Absolutely.
And here's it's not the best picture of it. It's kind of cropped at the top, but you can see it there.
Oh, nice. Nice. And I'll hold this up to the
so there it is. So there's the Raiders 60 patch. And now apparently they're going to be making small changes to it as the season progresses. So right now in the middle of the 6-0 is the Al Davis torch. And so I would imagine that, I'm guessing, but I would imagine that like one of the changes they might make is, take away the torch and put in the 3 Super Bowl trophies, put in the 3 Lombardis or something to that effect. So it should be going through some cool incarnations throughout the course of the course of the season. And so cool stuff there. So, and appreciate the email from Paul and keep them coming and get that signature line right, my man.
Hey, so we got another one.
All right.
Hey, Murf, Uncle Mosh, and Swag Jeff.
Oh, he's making the list.
How you doing, fellas? It's Kev from Scotland here. Well, of course, he's making the list from over the pond.
Yeah.
Anyway, been a while since I last spoke to you guys, as I've been head down working away the last 5 or 6 months, but I've listened to every show you guys have put out. Even although I'm snowed under with work at times, you guys get me through it. Gotta say, the shows have been brilliant as usual, and a big shout out to Swag Jeff for just slotting right in there and becoming a great addition to the RFR family. Great work, Swag. Wow, Swag's got a fan.
Man, I'm telling you, man.
Tales from the Nation has been awesome, and
we might need to start editing some of these emails. I don't want to blow his head up too big.
No, let's cut him back a little bit.
All right.
And I particularly enjoyed Super Bowl 18 show as it took me back to the birth of my Raider fandom. This is where it all started for me. I started watching the NFL in 84-85 when I was 9 or 10 years old and never really had a team until I saw the highlight reel of the Marcus Allen touchdown run versus the Redskins in Super Bowl 18. That was it for me. You could say Marcus Allen is the reason I became a Raider fan. Murph,
nice.
You mentioned in the SB Tales from the Nation episode that hardly anyone includes Marcus Allen on their Mount Rushmore. Remember you interviewed me for Silver and Black UK in the London game last year, and I put, pardon me, I put Allen on my, where am I at? I put Allen on my Mount Rushmore because he's the reason I became a Raider fan. Also, the fact I remember him as you do, being a totally dominant player until a certain number 34 came along, who Al favored more than Marcus Allen. Truth is, Bo Jackson was the best running back in the game at the time and would have taken number 1 spot on any roster. Shame it went that way for Marcus, as he was not only a special player but a Raider through and through. You can understand why he was so pissed when Al started to mess with him around a bit. Also, my first ever jersey was when I was 12 years old, and it was a home number 32 Allen jersey. It was a cheap, meshy replica, but I loved it so much. Anyway, Tales from the Nation is a great show, and it got me thinking of something else. Murf and Swag Jeff have both hit several times on the lesser-known players and the outstanding moments and contributions they have made to either game or within their careers. I think this would be a great show idea. Lesser-known players who've made an impact one way or another whilst playing for the Raiders. Gotta say, this offseason has been longer than a month in jail, but we are nearly at training camp than preseason. Training camp will be interesting with all the positional battles that will take place. I think the standout ones will be the D-line, especially the inside guys. We've got plenty of good players in the position, and I'll be interested to see how the likes of Vanderdoes and P.J. Hall compete with Hurst, Hankins, and Ellis. Also, pass rushers. Could Ronald Ollie push Benson, Mayoya, and Josh Murf for a roster spot? I would think Farrell, Key, Crosby are all locks. The corners and receivers will interestingly be as well because we have so many guys in good depth on the roster right now. I can see it being the end of the road for Dwayne Harris if we find a return gem with one of the young guys in camp. Well, that's it for now, fellas. Shout out to Raider Nation worldwide, my man Skane in Sweden, all of the Silver and Black UK, the mini Black Holes, Stevie, Annie, Heath, Haley, Colin, King Louie, and Daisy, and of course, all the RFR family. One nation, just win, baby. Kev from Scotland.
Awesome, Kev. Good to hear from Kev. It's been a little while since we heard from him, and definitely appreciate you checking back into Raiders Fan Radio. There's a lot of good stuff in there, man. A lot of good stuff, and I agree, sadly, about Dwayne Harris. I think he might be the odd man out, man, especially if J.J. Nelson can return kicks with that kind of speed, and we think Hunter Renfrow is going to take the spot at the slot. I definitely think that Harris might be. Of course, we just signed him to a pretty decent contract though too, so we'll see. But great email, and I appreciate all the feedback as usual. All right, Uncle Mosh, I think it's time to get to the capo, huh?
It's time. Come on,
all right,
Aaron.
so here at Raiders Fan Radio, if you call us 3 times or if you email us an undefined amount of times, you become a made man or a made woman. We had our first made woman last week. Congratulations to Haley on becoming our first made woman. And
she's running with it, dude.
Oh, she's on fire with it. It's great.
Tell them a little bit about Miss Haley.
Queen Haley. Yes. So she's made a handful of social media posts, basically just saying, "Hey, look, bow to the Queen, man. Like I'm here. I'm the first one ever, and right on, man. We love it. Like it's very tongue in cheek. It's very funny. She's great, and all the response that she had one post that she made about it, and it has like 84 comments on it from her and all the other Silver and Black UK folks going back and forth. It's hilarious. It's fun stuff, and so we appreciate her and her correspondence here with us at Raiders Fan Radio. All right, so if you call the show 3 times or email us an undefined amount of times, you become a made man or a made woman. And every crew needs a captain. We call him the Capo, and he is Aaron the Q-Dog Raider. And we got a lot of multiple offenders this week, Mosh. We got a lot of voicemails, and we have a lot of folks that called us like 1, 2, or 3 times. And so, hey, this is the Sea of Fans show, so we're going to let them all roll, man. We're going to play them all.
Full Metal Mexican says it's Capo time.
It's Capo time, so let's hear number 1 from Aaron the Q-Dog Raider.
Greetings, Sonny, Mosh, Murf, Little Murf Nation. It's Aaron Q-Dog Raider calling to you from Interstate 20 eastbound in the great state of Texas. I almost missed my time. I got a lot of things going on. I mean, I've heard a lot of, good replays and stuff like that, but I don't even know if there's going to be even a show this week. But if there is a show this week, I'm rolling down the highway and I got myself a burrito, and it's delicious. Man, I got a spicy meat burrito from Taco Casa, and I'm telling you, I'm going to have to get over. But before I have to take this bathroom break, I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew that this hype that they got going on for Tom Brady, because he's too into football. He's all football because he threw passes this week with Gronkowski. Listen, Derek Carr's been throwing passes nonstop with Antonio Brown since he came over. Does that make him consumed with football? Is that why he's going to be the greatest? Is that why he's going to break all the records this particular season? Who cares? What you need to worry about is Raider Nation. I'm talking about the game against the Detroit Lions at Oakland Alameda Coliseum. I got my ticket. I'm making my reservations. Join the nation. Let's make it an RFR reunion. 11/3/2019. Let's make it happen. Oh, big ups to B-Dog and a Pasture. Woo!
All right, so sounds like Aaron the Q-Dog Raider is going to join us out there in Oakland for the November 3rd game.
Carl says, touching cloth.
Sounded like the turtle might have been out of its shell there,
The
Marsh.
turtle was out the shell, for sure.
All right, let's go to number 2. Well, All right, let's go to number 2 from Aaron.
Whew. Man, I'm glad that's over. Q-Dog Raider coming back to your capo. Greetings once again, Nathan. I'm back on I-20 eastbound in the great state of Texas.
That's awesome.
I'm going to leave the burritos to Sergeant at Arms, Big Raider Trucker. I can't follow that up. But I just wanted to make sure, if you didn't get what I said last go-round, November 3rd, that's what I'm talking about. The Blitnikoff Foundation event, Mosh, Murf, hopefully me. The wife, she said she's not going to go, and I can't blame her. She's going to have to clean up that mess. But anyway, respect goes out to Raider 1975, Ron and Alliance, the Raider, Raider to be named later. You know who he is. The hit list, Johnny Townsend, and I can't really think much more. Congratulations to Mojo for protecting us as we sleep and doing the damn thing around the clock and doing things that you probably can't disclose over these airwaves. Other than that, this call has been brought to you by the men and women of, let's pick a bourbon. Let's go with Larceny Bourbon. Man, I tell you what, it keeps the jokes flowing, it keeps me rolling. I'm going to holler at you later. Group.
Oh, man. Oh, that's a great call, Aaron. And the chat is on fire, man. The chat is I'm not going to read what Johnny wrote, but Johnny, you just slayed me and Mosh both, man. That was amazing. All right, so great stuff from Aaron as always. So there was Aaron going number 1, Aaron going number 2, and Aaron also went number 3. Ooh.
A rare three-peat. Q-Dog Raider calling back once again, Nation. Sorry to waste your time, but I'd be remiss if I did not mention the passing of the Battleship Lorenzen, the Pillsbury Throwboy, the round mound of touchdown. Mr. Jared Lorenzen, former Kentucky losing quarterback, NFL champion with the New York Giants, who beat the Patriots. Somebody had to do it. But he passed away this past week from health complications of overweight. So, Raider Nation, please take care of yourselves. And prayers go up to old number 22. So that's all I got. And I keep on wanting to mention this individual, and I keep dropping the ball. But mad respect to Rev Raider in New Jersey. Root.
All right, good stuff from Aaron. So going back, sorry, I was distracted by all the number 1 and number 2 talk. And then number 3 was out of control.
Just when Johnny says number 3 is not a good time, Murph.
Number 3 is a combination.
Yeah. Moving right along.
So Aaron talked about him maybe going with us to the Blitnikoff Foundation dinner. Sonny's going to be with us too.
Cool.
And so, I think we're all but confirmed there. I'd say we're about 90% sure he's going to be able to make it, not only to go to the game with us, but also attend the Blitnikoff Foundation dinner. So, if you find yourself in Oakland in early November, definitely catch up with us. And all right, Mosh.
Sir.
We got another 3-peat.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So I think this guy... This next caller, I think he's secretly trying to take over the show because he's leaving us some monster voicemails, man. And look, we already paid for the website, so I can't change it to Hardcore Raider fancave.com because we already own Murfs. But I will, and I'm joking, of course. But a Hardcore Raider calls us a lot, and he leaves us some great voicemails. And typically, I have to kind of narrow down the voicemails because we just would run out of time. But since we're kind of doing a voicemail show tonight, I'm playing everything. So Hardcore Raider called us. He left us 3 voicemails this week, and they're good. He's got some great points going on here, and these are some pretty fun topics. So we're gonna let them roll. I'm gonna play them 1, 2, 3, and so here we go. Here's the first one from our buddy Hardcore Raider out there in Donkeyville.
Murph, Uncle Moss, Q the Cat Dog, Titan. Let's see, what's his name? Is it Titan Raider? Oh no, Swag Jeff. I guess we gotta throw him in there. Hey, this is Hardcore Raider calling from Donkeyville. Scratch the previous call. Yeah, I want to get in a couple things here. So wasn't able to give you guys a call last week, was slammed at work, but you guys had episode 133, and I did have something I was going to call you guys with. And when you guys did that show on Wednesday, we had 133 days until our last primetime game, Thursday night game against the Chargers. However, I got another one for you for episode 134. We're going to rewind time a little bit. We're going to go back 134 games. And 134 games ago, we played the San Diego Chargers.
Oh.
We beat the San Diego Chargers back in 2010, week 13, and we stomped them 28-13. So guess what? I'm claiming we're going to beat their butts again and choke them out on Thursday Night Football at home this time. So other thing I want to get into is, let's see here. Oh, Armani Pooper. Man, that guy was never going to be a Raider.
A lot of number 2 jokes going on tonight.
Yeah.
There, he has some flashes, but I always talk about certain guys and what it takes to be a Raider. He was never a Raider. Would have never been a Raider. Welcome to the NFL. I'm glad he's finally acknowledged he's in the freaking NFL. All right. So it's off season, and there's still plenty to talk about. And there's a lot of hot takes I think you guys could do. You guys can make whole shows of why the Raiders are number 1, why the fans are number 1, and maybe some like Raider games with names versus other NFL teams. How about Raider slogans? There's a plethora of Raider slogans. I'm going to call back again. Hopefully you guys will be able to play both these calls and give you my take on this next hot topic I want to get into.
All right. So there he goes. So he sets it up. He's got some hot topics that he wants to get to. And he called us back 2 more times. And so here's the first one, or the first one of 2. The first.
You're talking about the second hour.
Yeah. The second
of the Hardcore Raider Hour.
The Hardcore Raider Hour, yeah. The Hardcore Raider takeover of Raiders Fan Radio.
The Hardcore Raider, what do they call that when you watch everything in all at
once? The binge watch.
The binge watch.
Yeah, we're going to binge Hardcore Raider. All right. Yeah, 8 episodes of Stranger Things and 95 episodes of Hardcore Raider calls.
All right, Hardcore Raider calling you back. All right, so last thing I want to get into is this, 17th rank. I'm still heated about it, and here's how I look at it. First of all, I don't give a hoot about jersey sales and stuff. You want a jersey, first of all, go to Murf's Fan Cave, go through their link.
Do you know what he's talking about, by the way? Let me stop it right there real quick.
Yeah, I do. But go ahead and tell us how it benefits the Biletnikoff Foundation.
Well, no, not just that, but there was a study that was done by Emory University. We talked about it last show.
Yeah.
Where the Raiders got ranked number 17 as far as best fan bases in the NFL.
Oh, my gosh. So are you kidding me?
I know, it's stupid. So, but yes, if you are going to buy a jersey, go to MurphsFanCave.com, go to RaidersFanRadio.com/gear and hit that link, and then that money that gets generated goes to Biletnikoff. Doesn't cost you anything extra. Just gives us a few bucks, and then we're gonna donate it.
And get hooked up that way, so they can help out the Biletnikoff Foundation. Besides that, we're ranked 17th, and it just really torques me, and it really pisses me off because of the hate and the backlash we always get. And like I always say, you think you get used to it, but you never do. But just tired of like the Raider Nation, just the hate holding us down and dividing us. So I'm going to give you the reasons why Raiders are number 1. First of all, it's Raider Nation. How many other teams copied us, especially in the draft? Claiming Nation, Cowboy Nation, of course Steeler Nation, which that's a fraud. I mean, they're all frauds. Right? I think there was like Redskin Nation, Seahawk Nation. The whole thing is just a bunch of really just torques me in the wrong way. But there's only one nation. It's freaking Raider Nation. You got 31 other teams trying to copy our slogan, claiming nation. All right. Second of all, how many Raider fans, have you seen another Raider fan, how many Raider fans yell out like Raiders or like go up and just be like high-fiving, so just keep that positivity with Raider Nation. How many other teams do that?
We saw it all through the draft.
Tailgate.
Oh, it was crazy.
Raiders have by far the best tailgates. Family-oriented, upbeat, food, music. You cannot beat a Raider tailgate. Number 3, anytime you say silver and black or, something like that, everybody's like, we're the only team that's, and this may not be exactly for fandom, but we're the only team that has, something associated with our colors, and so that's very unique. One of the other things is how many other fan bases have like their name of their team with their name? Mikey Raider, Raider Homer, Hardcore Raider. How many other teams out there have their team name with like a nickname, dude? We're it. It's Raider Nation, dude. And we're probably going to be the only fan base that has had 3 different cities as a home. Holmes, I'm going to call back on my last segment on this.
All right, so he's got a lot there. I'll just respond to a couple quick things.
He warned us he's going to call back.
I know he's setting it up, and that's again. We can't be doing this all season, but tonight we're gonna go for it. A couple things there. He said we'll be the first team to play in 3 different cities. We could be the first team to win a championship in 3 different cities, which would be amazing. And the other thing, and I had lunch with Swag Jeff today, and one of the things we were talking about is because I was telling him a little bit about what we were doing on the show tonight, and I brought up this point, and I think Hardcore Raider makes a really cool point. And Mosh, I want your feedback on this. When you talk about when you say the silver and black, you know it's the Raiders,
right?
Is there any other team in any other sport where you can state the color or colors and know immediately who you're talking about? The only one that we could come close on was Big Orange, because we're here in Tennessee, but Orange could be Syracuse also. Like there are, is there any other team that pops into your head that would be synonymous with a color or 2 colors? I don't think so. We couldn't think of any. And we sat there at lunch for an hour and couldn't think of anything. Can you?
Yeah, no, I think the closest thing for me is the pinstripes.
Oh, that's a good one, Mosh.
When you say the pinstripes, it's nobody but the Yankees.
That's a very good one.
You know, that's the only one I can think of.
That's money. You're right. Yeah. That's dead on.
But that's why you pay me.
That's why you're the best co-host in the game, man. That's it. And there's some good ones out there. There's some good ones, Che and those guys. You know what I mean? But no, absolutely, that's a good one, Mosh. The pinstripes. Let's hear it, chat room. If you can think like a color or colors, and I don't mean like stuff like it's definitive. Like what Mosh just said, it's definitive. When you say the pinstripes, no one's thinking about the damn Cubs. Everyone's thinking about the Yankees. When you say silver and black, you're thinking about the Raiders. When you say big blue, heck, that could be like 5 different teams. You know what I mean? So when you think of just a color or colors, is there anybody else synonymous like the Raiders are?
At Raiders at One Nation says Al Davis picked silver because nobody had silver in that time.
There you go.
So again, it's Al.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. All right, so let's go one more. Let's go with Hardcore Raider number 3, and I'm gonna go take a pee break.
Hardcore Raider again. All right, so last up for our Raiders #1 fan base, I got 44 reasons, and here they all are. First of all, you got Murf's Fan Cave with Raiders Fan Radio. You got the Raiders channel. You got the Pillaging Podcast, On Air Nation, Fan Club Blitz, Raider Ben, Grimy Nation, Watts Raider, Simone Raider, Sanjit T, Raiders 1967, Silver and Black Films presents The Raider Critique, Silver and Black Today, Raider Homer, Raider Invasion, Silver and Black Report, Raider 24, Raiders Voice, Town Business, Raider John, The Will to Win, Byron Live 95, Oakland Raiders Report, The Raiders Daily, Raider at 408, DC HQ, Oaktown Graphics, Raiders Podcast Upon Further Review, Locked On Raiders Podcast, Raider Cody Podcast, Silver and Black Nation, Behind the Eye Patch, the Raiders Insider Podcast, NBC Sports, East Coast Nation Podcast, Silver Shield Podcast, Raider Nation Podcast, Raider Snake Pit Podcast, Black Hole Banter, Raider Lounge Podcast, Silver and Black Pride, Vegas Nation Podcast, Ladies of Darkness, Fly Sweet Podcast, State of the Nation. So right there, you got 44 podcasts and YouTube channels that only cover Raider stuff. I only listed the ones that cover only Raider stuff, no other sports. There's a few other, there's plenty of other guys out there that cover Raiders plus additional sports or other teams. And you got, on my list, you got 27 YouTube channels that were active, had to been active at least within the last 3 months. And then you got 17 podcasts also had to been active within the last 3 months. So I've been doing some stuff with Raider Ben, YouTube channel. And, I put something out there where I was going to give someone, and I still am, if someone wants to do it, but a $50 gift card at NFLshop.com. And if someone wants to take me up on it, I'll go through Murf's Fan Cave so you guys, through your YouTube channel, so you guys get hooked up with whoever. But I'm going to do a $50 gift card for two things. Either one, somebody that comes up with this same list that I did of other NFL teams, an itemized list of all the other 31 other teams that covers only that team and no other sports, and prove me wrong that anybody else has more than 44 podcasts or YouTube channels. Or if you don't want to do the itemized list, find another team that has more content, Raider content out there than us. I stopped watching mainstream media because of all the hate, and this is all I do is listen to podcasts. I came up with the list. Somebody proved me wrong. Somebody proved me right. It's Raiders Nation all day, every day, and I'm ready to bring it. I'm going to keep bringing it.
Google Voice has claimed
Well, it took him 3 chances, but he got to Google Voice on the third one. So, listen, appreciate all of the messages and the topics there. Hardcore Raider, great stuff, man. I loved it. The compiled list of all of the different Raider. Heck, here on Murf's Fan, we have 4 Raiders shows on one freaking network. I mean, and we're one of, as you mentioned, many. So yeah, man, that's great stuff. And I think that's one of the things that we love so much about Raider Nation is that how fandom manifests within the fan base, or like what creativity gets produced out of all that is one of our favorite things. Everything, just like from a simple thing like that picture I referenced where I put the picture of all the different fan club designs.
Right.
They're all awesome. Like, and they're all different and unique. And of course they're all based somewhat on the silver and black and the skull and the shield and all that. But they're all different. They're all different and they're all really cool. And so, yeah, I think that's great stuff. A couple things in the chat there, Master. There's a few color schemes that are going around. The purple and gold of the Lakers. That's pretty good. That's a good one. I think that when you think purple and gold, I mean, that could be the Vikings though too. But I think you would think of the Lakers, right? But it's not as a definitive. Sorry,
Q wouldn't.
No.
Q Dog claims it's the Q.
Oh
yeah. So it's not
yeah.
definitive.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. You're right. And I see another one in there that said black and yellow. I know that was like a song and that was popular and stuff, black and yellow, but black and yellow, there's 3 teams in the same city that all have black and yellow.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got the Pirates, the Penguins, and the Steelers all have the same color scheme. So which one are we talking about, right? So I don't think black and yellow. I think it's silver and black, and then that's it. Everybody else is playing for second place. All right. Appreciate it again, Hardcore Raider. And Mosh, we got 2 made men this week, 2 newly crowned made men. One of them is right on number 3, and then the other one is like on 4 or 5, and he's one of those ones that I missed, although he didn't have to remind me. Thankfully, I caught it and realized that he had not been added to the made man list, and so we're going to play the first call, and then we're going to play the second call, and then we're going to hit the made music after the 2 of them. So here's the first one of your favorite names, and we're going to go hear from Lino, the Full Metal Mexican.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Got yourself a Full Metal Mexican here. And it's about a week before 4th of July. I just wanted to give some respect, first of all, to Murf, Uncle Mosh, Sonny, Swag Jeff, all the made men and women. Just wanted to give you guys a little perspective, a little advice. If you're going to be enjoying fireworks, please do so safely. And don't do something stupid like, who was it, that NFL player that was playing with fireworks and blew off his thumb or something like that? Don't do anything stupid like that. Be safe. Second, we as a Raider Nation, we're a close-knit family. However, when it comes to political views, I do believe that we need to keep politics out of the Raider Nation.
Amen.
I can't stress that enough. I've lost some friends. I've lost all contacts with some in the Raider Nation just because I have questionable political views. And that's fine. We all can't agree upon the same thing, but Raider Nation, let's not fight about politics, okay? Let's just, stay together as a team, as a unit, as a family, support our Raiders. And that's pretty much all I got to say. Happy 4th of July, and go Raiders!
Awesome stuff there, Lino. We could not agree with you more, and we stay away from political conversations on this show by, I don't know, the furthest of margins there. We don't even want to engage in that because, there's plenty of opportunity for that in the internet. And so around my football is not the place that I care to have them. And you know what? And I don't care to have those things online anyways. Like that's not the place. Anything serious should never be discussed on social media. Well, not like as far as debate goes.
And it's, how much fun is that?
None. It's zero fun.
Yeah, Politics Fan Radio.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
yeah,
please.
and how many minds have ever been changed because somebody put out a Facebook post?
I know, right?
Tell me how many. I mean, oh boy. Anyways, yeah, no, you ain't got to worry about that with us. So we agree with you 100%, Lino. All right, we got one more here, and now this is the guy that I missed, and so he actually called twice because I mentioned we have a lot of multiple offenders. So he called twice. Great call. Great call. And so the first one was enough to get him made, and then he called us back. So we'll go ahead and play them both.
What's going on, Murf? What's going on, Uncle Mosh? This is Central Valley Raider, calling you obviously out of the Central Valley here in Cali. Just calling in, man. You know, one thing I can't seem to get over or just can't get that bad taste out of my mouth is Amari Cooper. The guy just cannot keep the Raiders out of his mouth. You know, he's doing these interviews, you know, and now he's saying that he couldn't flourish. He had to get out of Oakland. It just wasn't right. We weren't putting him in good situations. He wasn't running the routes he wanted to run, you know, and blah, blah, blah. Every excuse, man, to throw the Raiders under the bus. How about some taking some ownership on your abilities and your lack of desire? I mean, let's go back to when he was drafted. Look at his picture where he's holding the helmet. The guy didn't want to be there. And hey, I mean, Eli didn't want to go to San Diego, and they pushed it and they moved. He ended up going to New York, you know, and you know, the rest is history for Eli. But Amari came, and he had some great seasons here. You know, I don't know what he's talking about. He didn't have an opportunity to flourish. The things what diminished that was his lack of catching, his lack of focus. Has nothing to do with Raiders.
Yep.
He was given an opportunity. But you know what? I think Gruden wanted the veterans. I think he's seen that Amari didn't have heart. He didn't have that desire. And I think it goes back to when Pac-Man smacked his head. He took his helmet off and smacked his head against it, and the guy didn't even get up, retaliate, didn't shove, didn't swing. I mean, you don't let another man do that to you, man, and you don't get up and do anything. Right there, in my eyes, it showed he improved. He was soft. After that, his mind was gone. Maybe it was a hit to helmet. Who knows? But the guy wouldn't catch. He couldn't catch anything. Open catches. Falling off routes. You know, the Miami game where he just changed the route and Derek Carr threw it up and he gets a pick. You know, at the end of the day, the guy can't keep us out of the Raider name out of his mouth, and I don't get it. But hey, that's their problem now. Please pay that guy the money he wants, and you will see what will happen. And you know, the final kicker on this is he told Michael Irvin, who is a Cowboys Hall of Famer, who is a wide receiver, and always said, give me the damn ball, a la Keyshawn Johnson, and all good receivers say that. During the interview, he says, I don't need the ball 20, 15 times. All I needed is 8 or 9 times, and I'll catch it 7 or 8 times. And Michael Irvin...
Google Voice.
Got him. What? Central Valley.
Googles in one night.
No, it's been a while. I'm telling you, man, the listeners were on fire this week, man. We had so many voicemails. All right, so he called back. He got claimed, but he rose like a phoenix from the ashes, Uncle Mosh.
That's what a made man does.
That's right.
Hey, Murph. Hey, Uncle Mosh. This is Central Valley calling you back. I guess I'm rambling on, man, so it hung up on me, but I wanted to finish what I had to say and get it off my chest. He told Michael Irvin he only needs the ball 8 or 9 times. Michael Irvin looked at the screen, the TV screen, smiled, kind of did a little like shrug shoulders, and he couldn't believe what he was hearing. And that's what I'm talking about. Amari Cooper doesn't have the desire. I think the guy came into the league soft as hell, wanted to get what he could out of it, the money, and then he's probably going to go into the sunset. The guy doesn't have a desire to be great. He doesn't. And I'm glad he's not a Raider. I think it's a blessing that he is no longer with us. But no wide receiver, and Michael Irvin even had said this himself, any good receiver or great receiver wants the ball all the time. You don't pick and choose when you want it. You want it all the time. So that's all I got, guys. Keep up the great work as usual. Loving the show. Hopefully you guys can make it out here. I know it's supposed to be a big shindig at that final game in Oakland against the Jaguars. Hopefully you guys can make it out here. I think it'd be awesome to end Oakland memories and have you guys part of that live, maybe a live broadcast of your show. Anyways, I'm out. Central Valley Raider.
Hey, so the chat's on fire, man. They're
lining it up tonight,
They're giving
man.
me down the road a little bit, and I love it. They go, Google Voice and Father Time are undefeated.
Nice.
And then
Nice.
Q-Dog says, you ever hear the story about Uncle Mosh eating about 24 donuts? It was 28.
Don't rob me of those 4 donuts,
No,
Aaron.
man, those last 4 were the best. Word is he crossed over to the afterlife before cutting a fart and raising from the ambulance stretcher.
Oh my gosh, you guys are on fire tonight. Too funny.
We went from Q Dog's poop stories and burritos to me being killed by donuts.
Oh man, yeah. And so to get back to the call there, Central Valley Raider, man. Appreciate the calls. Appreciate you being a made man, and that's overdue. He's called us more than 3 times, and appreciate the calls, and that's great feedback there, man. I 100% agree with you on everything that has to do with what you said about Amari Cooper, and I think that you hit it on the head. Nothing else for us to say on it because we agree with you. And then on the game, I would love to go to the last game ever, the Jaguars game there, but we've already got the trip planned for early November to go to the Blitnikoff Foundation. So for us to travel back out to the West Coast again, it's a haul for us, man. We're 1,500 miles away.
Right,
it's a big deal, and so I don't think that would be that's in the cards for us. But we definitely wanted to, we kicked around going to Indianapolis, and we still may do that, and we kind of thought about maybe going to New York, but when the opportunity came up, not only to present to Blitnikoff, but also to then go to that game, to go to Oakland one last time,
sure.
That's kind of got to be that's going to be our big trip for this year. So anyway, so I don't think we'll make it, but appreciate you thinking of us. And
we keep waiting for that one millionaire to come in and say, "Hey guys, quit your jobs and travel with the team."
Yeah, we just need you to do Raiders fan radio for a living.
That one guy.
So for any of you that have 7 figures in the bank, just let us know that you're willing to buy. We'll sell it all to you. You can have it all. If it's not nailed to the floor or named after me, it's for sale.
Well,
there's that one.
There's that one.
Maybe the one named after you.
Well, we're a package deal.
Oh, okay. You guys go together. There we go. All right. So congratulations to Lino, and congratulations to Central Valley Raider. Both of you are now made men here on Raiders Fan Radio.
You are a made man. You showed you are part of the family by participation. By chance, a man like yourself should make enemies, then they would become my enemies. Showing you are a friend of Raiders Fan Radio, you have leapt across the line. Friendship is everything. Friendship is more than talent. It is more than the government. It's almost equal to family. Be loyal. Made man, Raider fan. Someday, and that day may never come, I'll call upon you to do a service for me. But until that day, accept this as a gift. And don't ever forget, words can hurt more, but silence can break hearts.
All right, congratulations to Lino and Central Valley Raider once again. And we've now got quite the updated list. Mosh, you want to read through?
I got it.
For those of you that are listening to the audio version of the show, you're going to miss that, but I just gave a glimpse to the YouTube. I don't know if that's going to get us banned or not, but
I was putting my belt back on. I had to go. Man. Where'd it go? Where'd my list go? My list flew. Give me my list. I had to find the exit. I had to do a quick cue, and I had to go. Oh, I feel much better.
Oh my gosh. Oh man. So I couldn't resist popping you on the camera there, Uncle Mosh.
Thanks.
Sorry.
No, it's good. It's good.
I should have covered for you, but instead I exploited you for a laugh. I'm sorry.
Well, I was gonna do the old man thing and tuck my shirt in, but I didn't have time. As much grief as you and Dog gave me.
Ron in the chat says there's 2 sweaty spots on Raider Namash's chair.
Dude.
And Dakota says, is that powdered sugar around his mouth? You guys are killing me tonight, man.
Q-Dog, Moss just had a donut below the belt. Nice.
Oh my gosh.
I love this abuse.
I love it, man. You guys are slaying it tonight, man.
Tampa, it wasn't a number 3. I had to go. What are you going to do?
Man. We need to, somebody write down 134. This is going to be I can't wait to relive this one on the Fannies next year. You guys are slaying it. They're the best. Chat room is the best. If you're not in our dang chat room during our live show, you're missing out. They're the funniest.
iPatch says his beard isn't gray, it's powdered sugar. First of all, my beard isn't gray, it's silver.
It's silver, yeah. Oh my gosh, I got to take a minute.
Full Metal Mexican says, breathe, Murf,
man.
breathe. Nah, man, I had to go. You know, sometimes, and it wasn't a bad one. Like, I can always tell when I'm driving. And in the summer, I drive for a buddy of mine who has a logistics company, so I drive for him a lot, right?
Yeah,
and he'll say, hey, I need you to go take this, it's 13 hours to, New Orleans, or I need you to take this 9 hours to go over here to Russellville, Arkansas, or whatever. So I get to eating, and all of a sudden, and because that's the first thing I do is I hook up my podcast, and then I get my bag of snacks.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm driving in, and I know better because when I get the pangs, I get the pangs. I gotta go. I got 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And it's
you got a lot of socks with no tops on them.
I don't know if you remember Ron Say. Or not.
Yeah, for the Dodgers?
For the Dodgers,
Yeah.
he was a third baseman. He was incredible, but they called him the Penguin.
Yeah.
Because he walked like a duck. Well, I do that. When I gotta go, I gotta go. Because I'll get up and I'll squeeze the butt cheeks, and I'm pulling over to rest stops or gas stations or wherever, but I got the butt cheeks squoze. And the worst part is when you when you go in the room. Oh yeah, you squoze them. And you go in the room, and that's the worst. That's the worst time because you get in there and you're going, okay, is the handicap stall open? Because right now I'm handicapped because I can't do anything. All I gotta do because there's a little man inside my guts, and he's gonna open the sphincter, start shoving stuff out, and if I don't get seated, it's gonna be ugly. Sorry.
What does any of this have to do with football?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh my God, I'm dying over here.
So the new made men are One
Oh,
Nation
yeah.
Chucktown Raider.
Oh my gosh.
Queen Haley in Scotland. Lino, the Full Metal Mexican, and Central Valley Raider.
Congratulations
to all of you.
my
Yes,
gosh,
Johnny.
Mosh,
Johnny says the turtlehead duck walk. You can call it what you want, but I modeled it after Ron said.
Oh my gosh. Look at my glasses. I can't see out of my dang glasses. They're so fogged up. Cracking me up, man. This is funny stuff. You guys rule in the chat, and Uncle Mosh is always on fire, Ken. Yes, absolutely. I'm telling you, I just told Uncle Mosh, one of these days when he retires and he's no longer teaching in the public sector, I'm going to make $1 million off of an Uncle Mosh YouTube channel because he tells the funniest stories, and some of them are a little... they're never like in bad taste or anything, but they're not appropriate for in some settings. Was that fair?
Yeah. Sometimes my language gets a little colorful, and I don't usually talk like that, but
no. But for the story, you're a theater guy.
Yeah, you got to.
You're funny, and he's very funny. And so, anyways, I'm gonna make $1 million off the Uncle Mosh YouTube channel because we've made some hilarious videos over the years, and Uncle Mosh is the funniest guy I know.
Mojo Raider says, episode 134, The Poop Chronicles. I'm sorry I had to dance for you all, but
gosh, that was awesome. That was so funny. All right, let's get back into it. We only have 97 more voicemails to get to tonight. So I'm telling you, man, the listeners were awesome this week. Thank you guys so much for thinking enough of us. So let's go ahead and we'll start hitting the accelerator on these. We've got a lot to get to, and we're not quite running out of time, but we'll get there quick if we're not careful. So anyways, let's hear from Alex in Tucson.
Uncle Mosh, Murf, this is Alex from Tucson, Arizona. About 2:30 in the morning right now. Heading into work, super tired. But anyways, I thought I'd call in and ask you guys a few questions. First off, thank you for the shout out on the Fanny episode. I really appreciate it. I'll try to be as consistent as possible for you guys to kind of continue that from here on out. But yeah, thank you for that. My first question is, I don't think there's enough talk about Daniel Carlson. People mention his name every now and then, but I really want to get to know what you guys really think about him, and is he just a stepping stone so that we can, get someone to replace him in the future, or is he the future kicker for the Raiders? There's that, and I've that's on the back of my mind for a little while, and been kind of simmering, and I don't know what to think about him yet. So I just wanted to get your thoughts and let you know get your thoughts and let me know what you think about it. So, all right, thanks. Have a good one. Bye.
All right, awesome job, Alex. So, yeah, when we signed Carlson, I thought it was just kind of like a stopgap thing too. I figured that was just a way for us to kind of because we had Pinheiro, right, and then he got hurt, and then we needed somebody. There was the other guy. There was another young guy too that we had that came in there for a minute. You remember?
Oh, yeah.
Little skinny guy. Well, we're all skinny kickers, but except for Seabass. But I forget what the guy's name was. But anyways, so I figured Carlson was like a stopgap. But it looks to me like at this point now, he might be the long-term solution for us. And so we're doing a little nickname contest, and one of the nicknames was Deadeye Daniel. I thought that was pretty cool. And so, yeah, it sounds to me, Alex, at this point, like, and until he does something funky, that he's going to be our guy for the indefinite future. So the more power to him, and we'll see where it goes. I mean, the Raiders have it's a big drop off after Seabass. I mean, it feels like, he was part of the family, man. He was with us for so dang long. So, and it's been a little volatile here over the past couple of years. So we'll see. But I think
didn't Gruden drafted him?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Absolutely. So interesting stuff there. All right. Good call, Alex. All right. Next up, let's hear from our buddy Houston Raider Steve.
Hey, Murf and Mosh. This is Houston Raider Steve, the historian. I met up with the Space City group, Israel and Jesse and company, and DeAndre Washington. This is the second year he's had his camp over here in Missouri City, where he's from. And man, it was great. Was able to just kind of wave at DJ Hayden as he was getting ready to leave and everything. But I walked up to Michael Crabtree and I said, we're still mad about Talib pulling on that chain of yours. And he just laughed. And I said, anyway, so I said, would you go back to the Raiders? And he said, no, I unfortunately wouldn't. And so I don't keep up with Crabtree as much as I wish. But y'all probably know more than I do. I just been out of pocket just working. But anyway, so I had a couple laughs with Crabtree and everything. He's wearing the gold chains, like always. That's Crab. But anyway, so I was fortunate enough to tell to DeAndre how much I appreciate him being a Raider and everything. And so he did a little call-in, like Villapiano did, saying, this is DeAndre Washington. I listen to Raiders Fan Radio. So it was great seeing him, and I wish him the best and everything. So anyway, love your show, man, and as always, and always be representing the Raiders till the day I die, and I'll probably be representing them up in heaven. What can I say? We'll all keep company with Al someday, a lot later than sooner. But anyway, great show. Enjoy the thing from DeAndre, man. I told him how much we appreciated him doing that for me, for Raiders Fan Radio, and for Murphy, of course. Have a wonderful day, and go Raiders. God bless.
All right, awesome job, Houston Raider Steve. So real quick, Crabtree, he was with the Ravens last year. I'm not sure where. I think he's a free agent. I think they cut him loose. I don't think he's signed with anybody right now. I could be wrong. Chat room will know where Michael Crabtree is. But so something fun he mentioned there. So he was at DeAndre Washington's football camp, and he asked DeAndre if he would give him so this is how cool Houston Raider Steve is. He calls the Raiders Fan Radio hotline and holds out the phone, and this is DeAndre Washington.
Hey, this is DeAndre Watson. I listen to Raiders Fan Radio.
There you go. Give us a little idea there. I love it how he's like, radio? Like he wasn't quite sure. Like I'm sure Steve just, kind of set him up and said, here's my guys, and here's the name of the show, and say this.
Hey, this is DeAndre Watson. I listen to Raiders Fan Radio.
Very cool.
It's pretty funny because just when Johnny says, Washington, he might be gone probably.
Oh,
well, now that he's done a commercial for us, that's a gimme.
That's pretty much it, because we're the friggin' curse of the current Raiders, or not. Well, I'd say the current Raiders, but it's it doesn't look good if you come on this show. Then there's a good chance that you might not be, because we're like 4 of 5.
Yeah,
of like 5 Raiders players we've interviewed, 4 of them are now have either been traded or cut from the team. So Keith Smith, somebody get eyes on him soon, because he's the last man standing in terms of Raiders Fan Radio former guests. So, all right, next up, one more time from Houston Raider Steve.
Hello, Murf, Mosh, and everybody. Just want to let you know, this is Houston Raider Steve. I remember that Super Bowl game that they won against the Redskins. They played up in Washington on October 2nd of that year, and they lost 37-35. And then I remember that Super Bowl, obviously, with the Jack Squirick and the run by Marcus Allen and everything, and Derek Jensen scoring the first touchdown. It's amazing about that play and everything. There was a player on that historic run that Marcus Allen ran. I went to school at Southwest Texas, which is where Ken Coffey went to. Ken Coffey was the defensive back for the Redskins that almost had a hand on Marcus Allen. Nobody else came close to getting Marcus Allen after Ken Coffey. Neil Okowitz was chasing him down and other players. And, of course, everybody can remember Cliff Branch running interference on that play, and he was so fast. He was down there, trying to see if he needed to throw some blocks to take somebody out, but he didn't need to because Marcus ran that play so fast it was like a deer in the headlights. I was at a pizza place with my college roommate and everything. When Marcus broke that run, I was jumping up and down, yelling, "Go, go, 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 go!" the whole time, man. The whole place, the pizza place, was electric because, of course, this was down here in Texas. They don't like the Washington Redskins. Let's put it mildly. The Cowboy fans. So the whole place was jumping up and down, yelling and screaming, and I was screaming and everything. But I'll never forget that run into the night. The Todd Christensen talk about. So what was neat about that also is when I was at school at Texas State, which was Southwest Texas at the time, I was in a class with Ken Coffey, and he was one of our star players from Waller, Texas, outside of Houston. So you talked to a lot of different Raider fans, people like Crusader Raider Keith Smith. He became a fan of the Raiders that day, and I've talked to other fans that say the exact same thing. What a great one, and I think Al Davis said that was the greatest team ever in pro sports, not just NFL, but pro sports. Have a great day, great series, and God bless and go Raiders.
All right. Great job, Houston Raider Steve. Appreciate the call. And yeah, that was such a defining moment. And thank you for supporting Tales from the Nation there. We covered that Super Bowl. Mosh and I also covered it in depth when we did our Super Bowl show this past year. And, on Tales from the Nation, this past episode, Mosh, we talked about Marcus Allen's run and becoming Super Bowl MVP was probably the highest, I don't know how I can word this, the most significant in terms of on-the-field performance, the most significant play or event in Raiders history, because it was the 3rd Super Bowl. It was Super Bowl MVP. He set the Super Bowl record. At that point, Marcus Allen transcended from just a football player or a good football player or even a Super Bowl MVP in the sports landscape.
Right. He was king of the world.
He was king of the world, right? What do you think about that?
I do. I mean, I agree. It doesn't get much bigger than the Super Bowl, and it doesn't get much bigger than MVP of the Super Bowl. Well, what else can you do?
Yeah, World Series MVP maybe. I mean, and now I guess nowadays Finals MVP because I don't know. Like I was trying to think, that I think for the Raiders, man, like that's it. Like that's one of the crowning, if not the crowning achievement.
Right.
As much as we love the teams of the 70s, and of course you're a huge fan of the 76 team that won the first Super Bowl, and all, as big of a deal as all those things were to finally get past the Steelers and Madden getting his Super, as big of a deal as all that was, I think that one with Marcus, like that was because again, it transcended. It was bigger than everything.
Some of the MVPs in the recent years have been, well, if it's clearly defined. Well, if they win, it's going to be here, and if they win, it's going to be here, or it could be. There was no doubt it. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was going to be Marcus. You know, and you so.
It's not like, it's Brady or Edelman. Like, who's it going to be?
Exactly.
It's
exactly. No, this was who it was going to be from the get-go,
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. Good stuff, Mosh. All right, so great stuff from Houston Raider Steve, as always. Historian Raider Steve, as I like to call him. Okay, next up, we got a new caller to the show, Mosh. This is, he's going to tell you how he got this nickname. This is Lalo Meloso from L.A.
Mosh, Murf, Jeff, Raider Nation, first-time caller. Just wanted to contribute to the show. A little bit about myself. I grew up in L.A. County. As a kid, my uncle, who was a Cowboys fan in the 70s, would always try to get me to root for his team, and would tell me no. But I guess in Mexico, he said that they were called the Raiders Los Malosos. So being that my family's nickname, he would call me Lalo Maloso. So I just stuck with it, Lalo Maloso. All right, guys. Thanks for taking my call. Hope to call you guys another time. Thanks.
All right, so you guys,
I like that, Lalo Maloso.
Isn't that cool?
And Maloso
is bad. So
yeah.
Raiders the bad, like the villains, right? We're the villains of the league, man. I dig it. So Lalo called us back a second time.
Hey guys, Lalo Maloso here again. Just was a little nervous on the first call. Never called anybody before, but as far as a podcast or a YouTuber, thank you guys for giving for what you guys do, making the off season go by really quick. I never had the off season go by as fast, thanks to you guys and all your content, all the shows that you do. That really, really made it, made time go by quick. I mean, I'm almost about a month from now, a little bit over a month, preseason will be starting. But, like I said in my first call, you guys could say something maybe about, Al Davis' birthday and what he did for sports in general. I mean, how many teams are wearing black now? Black jerseys. I know my wife, when I say stuff like this about the black jersey, she kind of rolls her eyes, but she says it's a real popular color now. It's just trendy. But, I mean, teams that don't even have black or never had black in their logo are now wearing black. My Lakers, purple and gold, wearing black jerseys. The Celtics, wearing black. I mean, I contribute that to Al Davis, but, what do I know, right? You guys are the experts. Maybe you guys can give me your opinion on if it really did make an impact, or did he really, make that a popular thing. I believe he did. But anyways, that's all I got right now. Thanks for taking my call. Bye.
All right, great job. Appreciate the second call as well, Lalo. And I know I don't want to speak for him, but I know Mosh agrees that Al Davis set. One of the most brilliant things that Al did, and I don't know if it's talked about enough, is that he built the mystique of the Raiders. Of course, Madden had a lot to do with that as well. But as far as the what the Raiders are marketed as, what they represent, Al, his vision was that he wanted the opposing team to be afraid to come to Oakland. He wanted them to be afraid of the crowd in the parking lot. He wanted the place to be the building itself to be intimidating. He wanted the fans inside to be intimidating to the opposing players. He wanted his team to be intimidating. He wanted them to think that there are other things at play more so than just the team. He wanted the opposing team coming to Oakland thinking about everything else but the game they were getting ready to play. He played that mental game brilliantly. And yes, the colors were part of it. The black, bad guys wear black. The villain, Darth Vader, wears all black. The bad guy, yet that is exactly what he wanted. He wanted them to be the bad guys. And so I fully agree. And yes, other teams have adopted. The Niners wear black jersey with the red numbers. It's the stupidest looking jersey I've ever seen in my entire life. It's absolutely obnoxious.
Q-Dog says, the Niners wear black pantyhose.
It's just silly. I don't know what happened here. My camera just reset there. I don't know what's going on here. Hope our something just glitched.
We're all right.
Something just glitched there. All right, so let's go ahead and get to the next caller, and I'll see if I can figure this thing out. We're going to hear from our buddy Kevin, the Raider Nerd.
Hello, Raider Fans Radio. This is Kevin, the Raider Nerd. I'm on the road right now. I am calling from just north of Little Rock, Arkansas, heading east to west permanently. Want to first of all say thank you, everyone, for the great wishes. I'll get into more of that in a sec, but I just want to say it's good to be calling back. One-time Sizzler Award, 3-time Raider Fans Radio interviewee. Made man, proud of that, of course. And depending on who you ask, Uncle Mosh, one-time squatter and hostile takeover of the Southern Annex in the Raider Fans Radio studio. Anyway, Mosh, and everyone, sorry guys, I'm getting choked up here. I was listening to the Fanny Awards, and Murf, I just want to say you were giving out some great awards to people. And I just want to say that I was a little sad because I couldn't be part of a lot of the call-ins recently. I'll get into that in a second. But you were giving out some great awards, much appreciated awards, including to Uncle Mosh, Paul, the Polly Award, everyone out there. And, of course, I want to give shout-out to Q-Dog and Emiliano and everyone else. But I want to give my own Fanny Award, and I want to give that to you, Murf. Murf, you've done a great thing for Raider fans, and you've created quite a community out there. And the best part about it is that I'm really, really proud to be part of Raider Fans Radio and all the made men, and congratulations to the first made woman as well. So I was getting a little sad that I couldn't participate recently, and the reason why I can't is because I've had some life-changing news. Back in May, I took a trip out to California, Southern California, to visit my dad. And my fiance and I went out there to kind of help him out. And a couple of things happened while I was out there. One, I got a text, found out the house that I was living in Georgia is being sold, so I had to move by the end of June. Oh, second, my fiance and I saw how my dad was living. He happened to be in the same house that I grew up in. And since my mom passed away in 2010, he kind of has been letting the house go, and he's been kind of lonely. So I talked to him, talked to my fiance, and I made the decision to move back to California in the house that I grew up with, the house that I became a Raiders fan in, to help my dad out. He's in his late 70s, and he needs some help running the thing. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going back to Santa Barbara, California. Looking forward to being back closer to Raider Nation. Love you guys. I'll be in touch later. And thank you, Raider Fans Radio, Murf, and Uncle Mosh.
Absolutely. Kevin, the best wishes to you and definitely to your dad and your family as you're going through all this. And, it's going to be cool. You'll be back out there on the West Coast, man. Be awful close to a lot of things, Raiders out there. So glad you made the trip safe and appreciate all the kind words. And, I'm going to say something real quick. Kevin got emotional there when he was talking about with his dad and things. And I'm just going to tell you that, thank you for the nice words about the community. And I won't get into the details of everything, but kind of went through some pretty significant life changes myself here over the past a few months. And I got to tell you guys, it was tough for me at a couple of points to find the creative energy to do the show. And I talked to Mosh a couple of times, and it was really when I started getting into the voicemails and hearing you guys and getting the feedback about the show, it really kind of sparked the creativity in me and helped me kind of be reinvigorated to come back and to do the show in the way that you all are accustomed to. And so the community around our show is absolutely our favorite thing. It's by far, it's the best, from everything from the chat room to the social media stuff, all the communication, and the fact that you all have become friends with each other, and you're now doing things, attending games together and whatever, and you met through our show. Like, that to me is the best part of all of it. So Kevin, thank you for saying that. And yes, we fully embrace it too. And that's again, it's our favorite thing, or my favorite thing, certainly about
100% family first. Always. We've always said it. We screw around here and we have a lot of fun, and we kid and we mostly poke fun at me.
Certainly denied.
But certainly not. But we poke fun at each other. But you're right. I'm reminded. The old story of the man that complained, because he had no shoes until he met somebody with no feet.
Right.
It's like, you got to go with family first, and nobody faults you for that. Nobody faults you for that. Everybody applauds you for that. So, Kevin, you still don't get a pass on sitting in my chair. But my brother, our thoughts and prayers are with you, and right on, bro. You're doing the right thing.
Absolutely.
Good job.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. All right, so Kevin, like a lot of folks tonight, is a repeat offender and called us back.
Hey, Murf. Hey, Uncle Mosh, Q-Dog, Emiliano, all you other made men and made women. This is Kevin, the Raider Nerd, checking in from the road again. The last time I called, I just want to let you guys know that I was a little tired.
very emotional. It was very early in the morning. Plus, I was calling from Arkansas. But I meant everything I said. I've been missing Raider news and been participating on the YouTubes with you guys and calling in just because of this whole move to the West Coast has been very stressful and been very, very busy. But your podcast there on Raider Fans Radio and all the other podcasts on the network have been getting me through things, and I really appreciate what both you, Uncle Mosh, and Murf have been doing. And by the way, Mr. Murf, I gave you my own Fanny Award. I'm going to be calling that the Murphy, considered a lifetime achievement award.
Right on, I'll accept it.
You've done a great thing for Raider fans, and I just love the topics that you guys do every week, and appreciate how good you guys are to the fans, and also cultivating that fandom, which has been very important. I'm looking forward to getting back to California. My roots being closer to a lot of more Raider fans. If you guys saw pictures of social media of me, you can see the big rig. I got a 26-foot U-Haul and a trailer, race trailer carrying my Raider Nerd mobile. I've got Raider magnets all over it, and I got Chucky as my Chewbacca co-pilot right here, and I've been getting a lot of interesting looks and cheers from other Raider fans while on the road. I just want to say I'm looking forward to getting back to the West Coast and mingling with more Raider fans in my hometown. You guys keep it up. You're doing a great job. Love you guys, and I'll be in touch. Oh, and by the way, I'm temporarily calling myself Raider Nerd Trucker. Emilio on Facebook said I could use that moniker temporarily. Raider Nation people, talk to you soon. Bye.
All right, good stuff, Kevin, man. Kevin the Raider Trucker. I like it. Or Kevin, the trucker nerd or something, I guess. Yeah. So good stuff, man. Congratulations, Kevin, making it safe. And yeah, man, look forward to keeping in touch with you for sure, my man. You are, he's one of the guys that got in early with us here, and he's got a great podcast network himself, the Fandom Podcast Network. Him and his buddy Kyle do a great football show.
Yeah, they do.
And they've got a lot of other great shows on that network as well. So check them out. Fandom Podcast Network. All right, Uncle Mosh. So we got another made man to get to here tonight. In fact, we got a few more made men to get to tonight. But here's a guy we hadn't heard from for a little while, and he's in the chat room tonight.
He's been on fire in the chat room.
He's been on fire. Let's hear from our buddy, Wyoming Raider.
Gosh, Murf, Swag, Wyoming Raider here. They haven't called in a while, so I figured I'd touch base with you guys just to see what was up. A lot of new things. Let's see, Hard Knocks. Never watched that show before, but that should be pretty interesting, huh? Maybe we'll get to see some Chucky come out finally. Let's see what else. That new show you guys got with Swag, it's a pretty sweet little show. I like that. Keep that up. Well, Bull Gerbil's back in the news again. See, his tiny nuts finally found a safe space to start talking smack since he was away from the real men in the silver and black locker room. Not much. It's slow season. Like I said, just wanted to call in. Wish everybody a happy 4th. Have a safe one. Have a good one. Well, everybody except for Paul over there at Shropshire. Yeah, sorry you lost that one, buddy. Anyway, y'all keep up good work. We'll talk to you later. Go Raiders.
He's the best. Sorry, Paul. Oh
my gosh.
Isn't that great? You're talking about Amari Cooper and his safe spaces, man. That's so funny. Oh my god.
Bo Gerbil.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, he's pretty funny, man. He's the best. We appreciate the call, my man, as always. All right, Uncle Mosh, let's go next to our buddy Raider Juan.
Uncle, how you doing, Murf? Uncle Mosh. This is Raider Juan. I'm just calling to tell Uncle Mosh that the answer to his question in the fannies was he used 4 shirts and a jersey. I've been doing pretty bad, so, if you guys can send me a prayer, I will appreciate it. And, what's his, what do you call him, Swag Jeff, you're doing pretty good, man. You're learning a lot about our Raiders history. So, don't trip. Don't let nothing get you down, brother. And I appreciate everything you're doing, because you know, we have a lot of history, and you learn it, and you learn about our players too. You know, keep it up, and you know, guys ask about nicknames for our players. How about for our short safeties? You know, the Ant-Man and the Wasp. You know, I don't know if that would be pretty cool, but you know, they're both short and they can both hit. So God bless you all, and love you guys. Go Raiders. Go Raiders.
All right, go Raiders. I like that. Ant-Man and the Wasp for our lollipop kids back there in the secondary. Yeah, prayers up to you, Raider Juan, man. Whatever it is, whatever those challenges are, those health challenges
That's
that
right.
you are, we're definitely thinking of you, my man. I know Raider Nation is as well. And prayers up, man, for healing for you, whatever it is that you're facing. And it's always great to hear from you. And please continue to call us, man. And all right, so here we go, Mosh. We got another new caller. This is Alon. And Alon is a first-time caller, but we've referenced him before. He sent us a fantastic video. I think it was on Twitter. I don't know if he sent it to us directly, but there was a Twitter video that he put out. It was him at the Coliseum during the Steelers game. Do you remember the episode where I was taking the different audio bites where I was playing like the crowd noises from like what it sounds like on TV versus what it sounds like in real life? And he had one of the ones from real life, and it was amazing. And so anyways, he called us this week.
Hey, hello, this is Alon Bush calling, a.k.a. Raider Ambassador. You probably don't even remember me, but I was the guy that had submitted a sound bite at the Raiders and Steelers game where I screamed at the very end, "It's going down in the town." But anyway, this is my first phone call, and unfortunately it's not for Murf's Fan Cave. This actually has to do with Tales from the Nation. The third episode with Swag Jeff. Before I get to it, let me send my shout outs to Murf, Swag Jeff, Uncle Mosh, Little Murf. I love your shows, all your podcasts. I tune in like every week. But anyway, I wanted to touch on one thing regarding the Black Sunday subject, and it had to do with the whole Marcus Allen not typically being put on people's Mount Rushmore, even though he was a Super Bowl MVP. Now, Murf, you had mentioned that it was because of him becoming a chief and that his falling out with Al Davis was because of Al Davis not wanting to be outshined. But I believe it was more to it than that. And you've been a Raider fan a little longer than I have, so I'm pretty sure you've heard the rumors regarding some of Marcus Allen's like off-field discretions or indiscretions, right? So what I mean by that is we're talking about a man who was like the highest paid running back during his time. He was the hottest running back in the league. So along with that comes with certain attention from groupies. And there were lines that he crossed regarding females. Now, nobody ever talks about this, but I've heard from some of the older heads that Marcus Allen did indeed cross those lines. One in particular, Al Davis's goddaughter. So I figured I'd bring that out since this show is about Tales from the Nation. So it's like, why not dispel some of the rumors, whether it be good or bad or super ugly? But you go ahead and let me know what your take is on that, because I think that was part of the mix of everything which caused him to end up having a bad falling out with Al Davis. On a positive note, Al Davis's son made up for it and extended the olive branch by letting him light the Al Davis's torch.
Google Voice has claimed you.
Google Voice is undefeated, Uncle Mosh, but
always will be.
Always like a phoenix. Alon rose up and called us again.
Oh man, Google Voice claimed me. Anyway, this is Alon calling back, aka Raider Ambassador. Basically what I was trying to say in the end was, by Mark Davis allowing Marcus Allen to light Al Davis's torch at the stadium a few years back, pretty much symbolized to me that, you know, all of that bad blood between Marcus Allen and the Davis family had pretty much been washed under the bridge. But anyway, I'm looking forward to this upcoming season. I'm hearing great things about Antonio Brown taking on the leadership role, talking to, offensive players on the team as well as defensive players, how him and Vontaze Burfict are getting along really well. They're pretty much chopping it up regarding football and everything else. And I'm looking forward to training camp, the HBO show, Hard Knocks. Looking forward to it, even though some people feel that it's a curse. At this point, I don't really care. I'm looking forward to the season. All right. I just hope this gets some airtime. Anyway, go Raiders.
Heck yeah, you got airtime, man. I love it. Great calls. Great job on your first trip into the fan cave, man. You did an awesome job and great takes. I agree with a lot of that stuff. I think that it's awesome watching the way that the Raiders have evolved in terms of Antonio Brown and Vontaze Burfict and that dynamic and how it's unfolding. And I can't wait that we're going to have a front row seat to see it all. That's going to be awesome. But I think the biggest part of his call and my biggest takeaway, obviously, and I think probably all of us on that one, is I heard in the past that Marcus ran with like OJ and like there's a crew and they were womanizers or whatever you want to call it. Okay. That they were out there, playing a field or whatever, but I'd not heard in relation to Al Davis's goddaughter. Now here's
the thing.
Okay.
And
break it down, Mosh.
Well, my thing is that would be great fodder for the fire if it were something that you could research, something that you could look into, something that you could say, hey, we have gone back and we've checked this out and we've checked that out and my thing is if we start down that slippery slope, then we become that media that we hate.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so if it's true, then prove it to me. Have some information out there. Send me some links. Let me do some research before I report on something like that. But for us to say, hey, let's go ahead and do a rumors show.
Yeah, I got you.
Then we're no better than all those people that we rail
true.
on week after week after week, saying that they're making stuff up just to get clicks.
Right.
And that's not what we're about.
No, that's not what we're about.
But if there's some truth to it, man, send me some info that I can look it up.
Well, I think what's interesting, and here's what I take away from it, is that you're right. And in terms of the specifics of it, who knows? But much like what happened in Washington a couple years ago, and Sonny on this show said there's something else going on.
Right.
It's not just the play on the field. There was something else that changed the dynamic of this football team. And I think that when we look at the Marcus Allen situation and the way that the falling out happened with Al and the way that he was treated, to me, it would make perfect sense that there was something else going on, that there was now again, who knows, and like Mosh just said, we're not going to speculate on any of the rumors or whatever, especially stuff that happened, now 30 years ago, has it been that long?
Right.
Or 20 years ago, however long it's been, but because I don't do math, but I think that it's very feasible that there could have been something else, because it didn't make sense the way that it all went down. In the typical scheme of the way a football team goes about its business, day to day, week to week, season to season, it was unlike things that we would normally see. So there was something going on.
Sure, and there's people in sports that we know have been unbelievable partiers, on our team.
Oh yeah. Some of the world class partiers,
world class partiers, and there have been people that have been world class womanizers. Wilt Chamberlain, read his book.
Oh my gosh,
he claims 10,000.
Yeah,
Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
There's
only Google Voices claimed more than Tiger Woods.
That was really good. So, but that's stuff. That information is out there, man. To say that it was that, I don't know.
I don't know.
That's not an area that I would go unless I had some kind of proof.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Curious to hear what your thoughts are, chat. Fire them out there, man. You guys are always on point with your opinions. Let's hear it. Okay, next up, we're going to hear from our buddy that protects our freedoms every day when he goes to work.
Murf, Mosh, Swag, Mojo, San Diego. Hey, 2 points to make. Just calling in. It's been a while. One, don't worry about the Josh Jacobs thing. Saw the tweet. It's going to happen. They're working out some guaranteed money thing. That kid will be starting for us game 1 this year, 2019. It's going to happen. All right? Relax. 2, tomorrow, man, I get the sales pitch from the season ticket guys in Las Vegas. So wish me luck. I'm gonna sit through the pitch and see what this is gonna cost me, if I'm willing to do it, and I'll give you a rundown, let you know how it goes. That way, if anybody else is waiting to get contacted, they just called me 2 days ago, and I had to set up like a virtual meeting with them because I'm not gonna drive out to Vegas just to sit down with them, but I'm gonna get on the computer and they're gonna like remote map me in there and show me the seating chart and talk about pricing and payments and all that good stuff. But it's not gonna be cheap, man. Anyway, wish me luck, nation. Shout out to my capo and the rest of the crew, Just Win, Donnie, and Big Raider Trucker. Mojo out.
All right, so I got an update for you, Mosh. We had a group text with some of the made men that I dip into occasionally, and they're real active talking with one another. And Mojo updated us that he did it. He pulled the trigger.
No
Bought season
kidding.
tickets. He's got season tickets to Vegas, so he's one.
So it wasn't that bad then.
I guess it wasn't. So call us back, Mojo, for next week's show, and let us know what's up, man. Like we want to hear how it went. I mean, apparently it went well because he did it, but I'm curious to hear what that process was like. I mean, the idea that they link up on, like a Skype call essentially and show you where you're going to sit and what the views are going to be with that. I'd love to hear about all that. So
Yeah, that's
definitely
cool.
call us back and let us know. So congratulations on that. He's the first one that I know that's a season ticket.
That's doing it.
Well, and I think Emiliano, Big Raider Trucker, I think he's in on it. I hope I'm not. I think it's okay for me to talk about it. I think he's in it with another group as well on some season ticket stuff too. So, anyways, but those two guys both are some of the early ones. So good stuff there. And obviously, his call was before Josh Jacobs signed, and he hit it right on the head. Josh Jacobs signed last night before we went to bed. Josh Jacobs is now officially a Raider, and the entire draft class is now signed. So good stuff there. Yes, sir. All right, 2 more to get to, and then we'll get out of here. Let's hear from our buddy Running Bear.
Hello, this is Running Bear from Tulare, California. Hello, Murf and Uncle Mosh and Capo and all the rest of the men and women and all the rest who listen to the show. I want to say that I think it should be Maurice the Undertaker Hurst should be the way to go for
that's a good
nickname.
one.
I really think we're going to have a really good year this year. I think Carr's going to get over 35 touchdowns this year. Really looking forward to Hard Knocks, see what's going to happen. I think we will have some engagements, let's say, some little roughness going on. But you know what? I think we might have a shock. I think maybe even Carr might get into a little bit of altercation a little bit. Wouldn't be surprised. There's a little bit of pressure going on this year with him. We'll see what happens. And with this Josh Jacobs holdout thing, let's just say this. If it goes more than a couple days into training camp, I want to see how he better play really well this season then, because it's going to put more pressure upon how well he plays. The longer he holds out, the better he's going to have to play for me to feel comfortable with him. I think our defense is going to be much improved. I'm looking forward with how consistent our offensive line is going to be. I think that's going to have a big impact on how well our offense is going to do. If it can hold together good, we're going to have one hell of a good offensive attack. Our defense has a chance to be really good, but it's going to take a while for it to grow as well. Watch out for Mad Max Crosby. I think he's going to do more on our defense than people think. I really like Abram. I think he's going to be really good. Cleveland Farrell, I think he's going to be a solid player, but I don't think he's going to be top player in the NFL. I think he's going to be a very solid player for us. Just looking forward to seeing things in Hard Knocks. Go Raiders!
All right, go Raiders. Appreciate the call, Running Bear, as always. And, he mentioned that the defense a little bit there and mentioned the improvements there. I made a bold prediction on this last Mondays with Mikey and Murf Mosh, and because we were doing bold predictions, so it may sound goofy outside of the context of bold predictions, but I think our secondary is going to step up and go like Soul Patrol level, and to even like to relate it to recent times in the NFL. I think that it can be like a Legion of Boom. I think that Jonathan Abram could be that Cam Chancellor type. LaMarcus Joyner can be the Earl Thomas.
Work too.
You know what I mean? And then you look at, and they had Sherman and Brandon Browner. They had two big corners. Well, that could be Conley and Trayvon Mullen. And then you also got Worley in the mix there. I mean, I'm probably overthinking this, and I'm probably living in my fandom a little bit, but that's my bold prediction for this year, guys, for our defense. I think our secondary is going to be absolutely top notch. Look, I don't have any disillusions like they're going to be one of the greatest of all time. Maybe not right now, but it's close, man. And I just feel like they're poised to make a big leap, I think is what it all boils down to. And I hope I'm right. I'm, probably going to be way off, and they'll probably be, 3-13, but as of right now, today in July, that's going to be
Super Bowl, baby.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 16-0 in the Super Bowl. So, all right, Uncle Mosh, we got one more to get to before we get out of here. Guy we met down at the draft this year, good friend of the show, Mr. Eye Patch.
Hey, Murf, Mosh, Swag, Jeff, Raider Nation, what's going on? This is Eye Patch calling in. I just want to say that I'm glad to see that the Josh Jacobs situation got settled pretty quickly. That could have turned sour really fast going into training camp. Same thing that we had last year, same problems. So I'm glad we got settled. I just want to say I'm glad the kid got off of social media anyway for a little while, because it's not the way to go, man. You got a kid who's 20, 21, 22 years old telling the fans that they don't know what they're talking about and they don't know what it's all about. I'm 56 years old. I've been a fan since the 70s. I get it, man. I know what contracts are about. I know what the situation is, guaranteed money, not guaranteed money. So don't try to belittle us and put stuff out there on Instagram and Twitter or whatever else kind of social media they have. It's not a good look. He's got a very loyal fan base with the Raiders. He's never going to have a better one, if you ask me. So I'm glad it got settled. I wish he would just stay off of it now, just think positive, talk positive when he's interviewed, and just put that all behind us. I just got one other thing to ask you guys. Have you heard anything about it? I heard the Hall of Fame might be expanding its inductees to maybe 20 coming up next year. And I'm trying to figure out, I was looking at some stats. I can't believe Cliff Branch is not in the Hall of Fame.
I'm with
this dude, compared to Lynn Swann, it's just the numbers are just don't match up. He's got 3 Super Bowls. He's got 3,000 more yards. He's got 16 more touchdowns. He's got 150 or 170 more receptions. I mean, Lynn Swann made one acrobatic catch in the Super Bowl, and that's how he gets in. I mean, it's just nuts. Bolitnikov's in, Branch should be in, Plunkett should be in. He's got 2 Super Bowl wins. He's the only quarterback with 2 wins not in, and yet they talk about Eli getting in because he's got 2. You got Flores with 4 rings as a player, coordinator, coach. I mean, come on. It's about time somebody wakes up there in Canton and starts realizing that some of these guys are really getting slighted. I just want to know what you guys think about all of that. All right, man. Peace out. Let's go. Looking forward to see Hard Knocks, some clips from camp. It's going to be a fun year, guys. Everybody, Raider Nation, keep the faith, baby. We're coming back. You guys, Marsh and Murph, keep up your good work. I appreciate everything you guys do, man. It's a pleasure listening to you guys every week. Take care.
All right.
Man, we could do an entire show on the Hall of Fame. I think we have.
Right. Collectively, absolutely. So I want to give you my quick takeaway, and I want to hear your take on this, Mosh. I think that we've had multiple discussions about Raiders that are overlooked for the Hall of Fame, and those are the big 3. It's Cliff Branch, Tom Flores, and Jim Plunkett. And I, at different times, have been critical of Flores and Plunkett, not in a way that I'm a Raider fan. They're my guys. All you got to do is look at the picture of me and Jim Plunkett when Sonny and I met him, and I'm starstruck as heck. So it's not that I want to I downplay his achievement for winning those Super Bowls, but I just try to look at it objectively, look at the big picture, try to understand what it is that the Hall of Fame may be looking at. And I kind of get some of the reasons that they take him down a notch. I kind of get some of the reasons they take Flores down a notch when you look at the entirety of their career. But the one that I will pound the desk on, and the one that I absolutely do not understand, and the one that if we are as Raider Nation going to create an initiative to get a guy in, it's Cliff Branch. Because when you get your house appraised, what do they look at? The comps in the neighborhood. What are the other houses in our neighborhood selling for? What are the other players in his era at his position, what are their numbers and what are their achievements, and he's better than a lot of them that are already in the Hall of Fame. He used Lynn Swann as the example, John Stallworth, whatever. And I don't know all these numbers off the top of my head, but I know enough about him to know that Cliff Branch is either ahead of them or in the freaking conversation, and he's got 3 Super Bowl rings. Why in the hell is he not in the Hall of Fame? That to me is the big one. That is bigger than Plunkett and Flores combined, frankly. What do you think?
I agree. I mean, and of course, the chat they've chimed in with Branch, Tatum, Plunkett, Flores, and Villapiano. You know, there's 5 guys right there that arguably were at the top of their game for an extended period of time.
Yes.
It wasn't just a one and done.
Exactly.
Oh man.
I look at the Hall of Fame like, were you the best at your position at the time in which you played? I think that's the only really fair way to do it. Was Cliff Branch one of the best receivers in football in the time in which he played? Yes. Absolutely. There's no mistake. Was Jack Tatum one of the best safeties during the time? Yes. So what else is there to talk about? You know what I mean? It's crazy to me. Those some of those guys, you're right. But I think, and Tatum, I think, is probably next, even after. And I feel like I pick on Plunkett and Flores a lot, but I just feel like there are other guys that are ahead of them on the list. And I think that Tatum and especially Cliff Branch. Cliff Branch is the one, because it was like forever it was Stabler. It was like, why isn't Stabler in the Hall of Fame? Stabler. And then finally, sadly, posthumously, he got in. But now that Stabler's in, I think it's Cliff Branch is the next guy.
I agree. I agree.
That's got to be it. So anyways, great call there from iPatch. Great calls from everybody tonight. Uncle Mosh, you want to hit us with some Sizzler talk?
Well, let's talk about some Sizzler. So, of course, Capo kicked us off like he always does every week, and with his hashtag steaming burritos stories, and his number 2 started us off, and that was a sizzling take.
Oh my gosh!
And of
that's
course,
the hardest I've laughed in a long time.
And then
man.
Hardcore Raider followed it up also with his number 1. We had 2 guys that were made men, Lino and Central Valley Raider. Alex in Tucson helped us with some stuff about our kicker woes. We heard from our historian, Raider Steve, got us at DeAndre Washington. We hope it's not the kiss of death. Lalo Malasso, first-time caller, man.
Good stuff.
And he brought up a great point about how other teams are copying us. We heard from Kevin the Raider Nerd twice with his new handle.
Oh, Kevin the Trucker Nerd.
Kevin the Trucker Nerd. And it was great to hear from Wyoming Raider,
Sorry, Paul. That was dang funny, man.
When he said, sorry, Paul, you guys lost that one. But, it's been a couple 100 years. We'll give him a pass on that. But, and Raider 1. Prayers up for Raider 1, of course. And Alon, Raider Ambassador, he chimed in with 2 calls. We had three get nailed by Google tonight?
Yeah, first time ever.
Yeah,
first time ever. Google Voices struck out the side.
Wow, crazy.
Yeah,
Mojo told us a story. We're going to probably hear a follow up from him about his season's tickets. Running Bear. Great breakdown on the roster. Everything from saying we're going to see Derek Carr throwing some
I like that. That was
throwing
good.
some hands out there to just going over the call. And then, of course, iPatch followed it up with his Hall of Fame talk. And so tonight, it's a hard one.
It's a tough one tonight.
But it is a tough one. But I gotta go with my boy Running Bear, man.
Oh.
Great breakdown. And he did a fantastic job on going through the roster. And it was a sizzler.
Sizzler. Good job, Running Bear. Appreciate that, man. Uncle Mosh, great rundown on the calls. And congratulations to Running Bear on the, is that his first? That might be 2 for him. Where's Paul at? Come on, Paul. You're the Sizzler scorekeeper here. Come on now. But hey, thank you to all of you for joining us tonight here in Murf's Fan Cave. Man, this was a lot of fun. I'm telling you, I haven't laughed that hard in a while. Uncle Mosh continues to be the funniest guy I know, and when you fuel him by the chat room, oh boy, I'm telling you. And the callers, man, you guys rock. You guys are
well,
awesome.
Our callers are definitely.
We are Metallica, and we are here for your Oakland Raiders.
You know why we out here, and we ain't playing around today.
From The Walking Dead
to errant Jedi Knights. Raiders fans are a rogues gallery.
All right, thank you for joining us here again in Murph's Fan Cave for episode number 134. We'll be back for 135. I don't believe next week. Swag Jeff and I will probably have some Tales from the Nation. We might have some interview stuff to get to.
I'm in Washington, D.C. next week.
Yeah,
so
you're out for
I'm
next
out for
week. So Mosh is traveling the globe, and so we'll have something. We'll have some kind of content for you next week. Just not sure what it'll be yet, but Mosh will be back for the week after that.
Yep.
We'll be back then. So thank you for joining us tonight. Please support Raiders Fan Radio, and most importantly, the Blitnikoff Foundation by going to RaidersFanRadio.com/t-shirts and buying one of those awesome get-made t-shirts, and so we can support Tracy's Place of Hope. Uncle Mosh, I'm going to get out of here and wipe off my glasses, and so take us home.
Thanks. It was a great show tonight. We appreciate everybody joining us. Thanks for listening tonight. For Murph, this is your old Uncle Mosh, and you've been listening to Raiders Fan Radio, where we take a lighter side journey into the dark side. Don't ever forget, what happens in Vegas started in Oakland.
Good night, chat room. I forgot to shout out the chat room there at the end. iPatch, Carl, Ron, Q-Dog, Wyoming,
Bob
Viking Raider.
Ellis, Full Metal Mexican, Carl Rogers. Hit that like button, baby. Hit that like button.
Subscribe.
Hit the button. Hit the button.
Oh, wait. Here you go.
Hit the button.
Just press the damn button, nerd.